In a world of remakes and remasters,
Are we playing for
what was once sacred and cool has now soured and become lame.
Red?
Gone are the days of ponds and cowabunga. Now is the reign of slurp juice and dabs. Kids these days don't even know how bad they've got it. Now it's up to the best generation to rise to the occasion and make a show that dares to go where a lot of other nerdy shows have already gone quite a bit. That's right. They're going to talk about it a lot.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the show. This is Best Gen, where nerds complain about nerdy things, and it's called Best Gen because everyone on the show is mas o menos from the same generation, and we happen to think that it's the best one. Not because we're better than you, but our movies certainly were, so strap on in and prepare to wax nostalgic as we reminisce upon the days of yore while simultaneously complaining about the utter filth that Hollywood keeps churning out on a daily basis. How's everybody doing tonight?
I'm pretty good.
Yeah, doing great.
Good. I'm a little tired, but what else is new? I've got 3 girls under the age of 3. So,
That's crazy.
yeah, life is nuts. All Friday, the entire day, they spent the entire morning kicking me in the nuts.
Yeah, last night we had 2 of our girls and our youngest boy get in our bed. It was rough.
They wanted
funny,
to
because
they
your
wanted
wife
to
said
hop
that-
on pop, and for some reason the default location for hopping is my groin.
Yep, it's the crotch every time.
You must not
You gotta
hop
start
on
wearing
pop.
a cup, I guess. Huh?
You must not. I think that would make things worse, if I'm being honest. I can kind of clench, and cover up. If I had a cup, it'd just be
Digging in
in
every
every
time.
Yeah, it's true. And it's more of a target that way, too, I suppose.
Yep.
They are lovely and just exhausting, man. What's William Shakespeare doing on the show? See, I thought he looked more like he looked more like Lord Farquaad, personally.
Okay, all right. How
Yeah,
about
yeah,
that?
he's
That's
kind
better?
of Shakespeare. I could see Shakespeare. Oh,
That's funny.
Just need one of those
I haven't
collars.
heard that one yet, Mark. That's a good one.
It's just the curl, the little curl at the end gives you a little.
Yep.
It's distinguished.
Yep.
Well, no, it's distinct. That's the right word for it.
Distinguished. I like that one, too.
Yeah. It's a choice. That's for sure.
It's a choice. Yes.
Let's just say it's going to be a long time before we play that special stinger again.
Ouch.
Oh, thank goodness. So that's all I had to do?
Just cut your hair, yeah. Basically,
Oh boy.
your wife will thank me, and your mom will also thank me because then she'll have grandkids. Obviously.
Yeah.
It's been a crazy week, and I haven't been on social media a lot, so I don't have a whole lot of crazy news, even though there's been a lot of news. TikTok was canceled for a day. And
Is it back?
It's back, yeah. Trump brought it back.
Okay.
He said,
Interesting.
don't worry, TikTok's back We're gonna work on a deal. It's gonna be the best deal.
And China's gonna pay for it.
China's gonna pay for TikTok. They're short videos. Frankly, too short. They're very short videos.
Good.
But
I can't
yeah.
do good.
You should
made
do
the
something
best.
on that for one of your shorts.
The
That would be
best deal.
hilarious.
Yeah, I'd do that if I could do a good Trump, for sure.
Yeah, happy Inauguration Eve.
Inauguration Eve tomorrow. Trump's president, and
On Martin Luther King Day.
perfect.
Yeah.
It couldn't have chosen a better day. If I'm being honest,
Yeah.
Martin Luther King had a dream, that
Which-
white men and orange men could one day be seen for their, judged by the content of their character instead of the color of their skin.
Eloquently
That's what
put.
Doesn't matter if your skin's orange or black. Anyway, that's gonna be fun. The meltdowns have been fantastic, and
I haven't seen any of those. That's funny.
They've been
They're just
Quite
as good as the
spectacular.
election ones.
I mean they've just been
not quite as good as the first time around, but
there's a lot
got
of
some good ones. Good zingers.
I think they're finally realizing that they're they're in the minority and they're just really loud and people don't like listening. We're seeing a small shift. I hope it continues to shift. I hope the zeitgeist keeps changing for the better. We've yet to see. It really kind of really depends on what Hollywood does, right? Like Hollywood is a good indicator of what's currently acceptable. So
Yeah, and
that's why I
thankfully
like
we
doing this show.
Started to kind of see a shift in Hollywood, and we'll see if it keeps up, or if they're just kind of trying to save face.
Yeah, well, it could also just be they're just doing it in secret now. Like
Exactly,
all these companies getting rid of DEI. They say they are, but are they firing like entire HR departments or what? Because that's what it would take. Just completely get rid of HR as a just get rid of it entirely.
Yeah,
But start from scratch. That's what you'd have to do. That's what Hollywood would have to do. So we'll see. I still like supporting independent media because it's better anyway. It never stabbed me in the back. So there's some fun news. The Lucent, the comic book that I still haven't read or reviewed.
Oh, dude, you got to get on that. It's good stuff. Read it.
I've been busy. I know. But he just launched the trading card series, which is pretty
Interesting.
cool. I think it's neat. Again,
fun.
I think it's beautiful. I wouldn't know what to do with a bunch of trading cards.
Yeah.
Maybe start a booklet or something because I know a lot of indie comics do trading cards and stuff. But
It's just art, right? It's not a game or anything.
yeah, no, it's just 9 cards.
Gotcha.
But they're all connected
Yeah, that's cool.
in a super cool way. And on the back they have like a mini comic based on that character. And then there's 2 rare cards. So again, super cool. I'm a big fan of the artwork, and Michael Bancroft is a super cool dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He taught himself to draw because he wanted to write and draw the comic.
Soul Finder by Iconic Comics. All right, I'll put a tab in there.
Yeah.
I'm reading more comics now, though. So that's what the whole point of Ultimate Nostalgia is to actually start reading all the stuff I've been collecting. So, yeah, I think it's cool. I don't think I'll buy it because I wouldn't know what to do with the cards. But they're super cool, and
Yeah. He still only has the first 2 comics, right?
yeah. Well, yeah. He's working on a third one. It's not part 3. It's like a 2.5. where it all takes place in the dream world thing, and is, yeah, that one is someone else is doing the art.
Okay.
That one's is that paint? No, because the first one was Painted Death. Is that?
Yeah, Painted Death and Waking Nightmares, I think, or
Waking.
might have been the other.
Painted Death and Waking Dream.
Waking Dream, not Waking Nightmare.
Is number 2, and then third one is Fractured Mind is 2.5 or whatever.
Gotcha.
But yeah, and then 3 sometime soon. Mike, I see what the goal is, to get him so popular that he can quit his job and just make comics full time, and then you won't have to wait like a year between each issue. That's the goal.
That would be great. It's good stuff. I think it's the best independent comic that I've read. Some of the Rippaverse stuff is okay, but Lucent is head and shoulders above anything that Rippaverse has done.
Rippaverse just launched
Bloodruth #1, and
that's been on for a while, but
they're about to do Yaira #2.
Yaira #2 is live now.
Yeah.
But yeah, in historic news, David, we're gonna get a little look. Okay, Trump's getting inaugurated tomorrow. We're gonna get a little bit political today, and I'm making no apologies this time. This week was an historic week, David. Did you know? Did you know that? This is the Democrats' official X page posted this 2 days ago. History made, and it's this lovely picture of Kamala Harris.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I don't.
What? Is she in a museum? Is this?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure this is just the White House, right?
It could be. I don't know.
It's a really bad quality picture. Because you can't even, you can't read the text. So I don't know who this is. I don't know if that's supposed to be Rosa Parks or something. It'd be weird to have a picture of Rosa Parks standing up. I don't know what they're trying to say. Is it that she's the first black female vice president? Because that wasn't really an achievement, because that's an appointed position, right? It's and Biden said, I'm exclusively going to give the position to a black female. It's the most DEI of hires of all time.
Yeah. But even
she did make history. She ran one of the worst campaigns of all time.
Yeah. But neither one of those has anything to do with this picture. That's weird.
And why does she look so freaky? Have you focused on her arm yet, David?
It's super long.
Is this AI?
No. This is a real picture.
That arm looks way too long.
It's a real picture, and everyone, there's not a single good comment here. It's all just people worst presidential nominee, and why is your arm so freaky? The best are... you got this. It's so weird.
Yeah, that's weird.
It's such a bizarre photo.
Huh. Interesting.
There's Slender Man.
Oh my gosh.
It's so confusing to me, but it's historic, okay? She's got arms like a sloth, yeah. A Conan stream on Monday. It depends on how much work I get done. Because I don't know. I don't know about Monday. We shall see. We should celebrate Martin Luther King Day by role-playing as black slavers. That would be fun.
Oh, dear.
Conan's been fun. Anyway, Star Wars Theory was talking about some of the statistics for the Skeleton Crew, which none of you guys watched, right?
Nope.
No, I don't have Disney Plus anymore.
No.
It is the least watched show of all time. Like it cut the Acolyte's viewing in half.
Oh dear. The Acolyte was already the least watched.
Yeah. So not good. Skeleton Crew reaches the lowest watched ratings in Star Wars show history, and not because it's bad. He liked it. I've actually heard a lot of people like it. From the few people I've heard who've watched it. I'm pretty sure Jared was saying it was okay.
Yeah.
But because The Acolyte pissed off even more people than The Last Jedi, and now more core fans have checked out, it's unfortunate.
Yeah. I don't know if it pissed off more people than The Last Jedi, because I think more people saw The Last Jedi.
Sure.
But probably percentage-wise, yeah. It killed off more people than The Last Jedi, because The Last Jedi was pretty split, 50-50.
Yeah.
I've talked to 1 in 25 people that have liked The Acolyte. All the people I've talked to are like, yeah, Acolyte was pretty bad.
It's garbage.
Yeah.
Has Bearded? I don't know.
That's
I need to get Bearded. We need to get Bearded back on the show. David, you need to pressure him.
I should.
He's got work on Sundays now, so it's been tough. But
I've been trying to get him to just talk to me. We used to do like Zoom calls and stuff, and just hang out or play games online with each other or something, and haven't done that in like 4 months.
We desperately need his Skeleton Crew updates, 'cause of course he watched it. Right?
We talked to him back. He gave his opinions on Acolyte, right? I'm pretty sure he
did.
He gave some.
They weren't good. They weren't good opinions. Well, no, his opinion was they weren't positive on the show.
Right.
I'm not saying his opinions weren't good.
I think he did defend a couple decisions on there, but overall, it wasn't great.
Yeah, Acolyte was already really, really bad.
Ooh.
Look at that. Look at that. Wow.
That is surprising with Andor too, though.
Yeah, Andor again was really good. But
Andor got more.
Boba Fett and Kenobi pissed everybody off again, and nobody's interested in Andor. You know,
Andor was kind of a sleeper hit. It didn't get a lot of views as it was going, but like it had a lot more staying power. So these are like as it's airing, right?
Yeah.
It sold a lot of DVDs, right? It wasn't successful in the box office, but pulled through in sales,
Yeah, gotcha.
If I can give a good analogy for a TV show. I mean, we're supposed to get season 2 this year, right? I think so.
I think that's what they said, yeah.
It's the only thing I would come back to watch. Like, I just don't care. I'm not watching The
Season
Mandalorian 3. And Grogu the movie in theaters. I'm not going to do that.
Season 3 killed Mandalorian for me too.
Wait, you didn't know about that, Jared?
No, I didn't hear
the
about
next
the
Star
movie.
Wars movie. How long has it been since Rise of Skywalker? We were supposed to get a Star Wars movie every year, right? Like that was the plan. We were going to get a new Star Wars movie every single year for Christmas.
That's
and
true.
They screwed the pooch so hard.
It was 2019. Rise of Skywalker 2019.
It's been 5 years, 6 years. Yeah.
That's insane. Well, it was. I think it was like about Christmas time that it released, right?
So 5 years. It's been 5 years with radio silence. The first Star Wars movie we're going to get, Jared, is The Mandalorian and Grogu. That's the name of the movie.
They've got a TV series for that.
Oh, it sounds like it's going to be a rehash of the Clone Wars cartoon.
Oh, is it a cartoon?
I don't care.
Yeah.
Season 3 was Season 3 was so bad. I don't care about the Mandalorian anymore either.
I don't see how it could be a rehash though, because the Clone Wars TV show was set in the Clone Wars, and this is after the original trilogy.
I think they're just
going into the New Republic. So
a similar plot or something. But.
Sure, that could be the case.
Oh yeah, so like
cycle
they did with the
storyline.
first one when they came back and just did a rehash of.
Oh, I did see something. It was that they're trying to stop the assassination of a Hutt baby, which was done in the TV show.
That was in the Clone Wars.
So we're gonna have another thing to babysit.
Yeah,
the Clone Wars.
That was also
the Clone Wars movie that launched.
That was also
one
of the worst. Oh, the Clone Wars movie. Okay.
Yeah, they rescue a baby Hutt. See, I got it right. I did see
they rescue a baby Hutt in the Clone Wars movie too.
Yeah,
like the old one with the different animation style.
No, that's a TV show. That was a single season TV show. That's Tartakovsky's.
Okay.
Tartakovsky's.
Oh, okay. So it was the movie that kicked off.
Yeah.
The rebooted.
Yeah, they rescue a baby Hutt.
Yeah.
That's going to be.
I didn't remember that happened in the actual movie. I thought that was an episode. But yeah, that was bad.
It wasn't great. The movie was not good.
Everybody
I don't think the Clone Wars is good.
Yeah, I think
sue me. I've never watched The Bad Batch.
Half of the Clone
wash
War
my hands of Star Wars. I am completely apathetic towards Star Wars. It is, and it's the saddest thing ever. It's so sad that I am no longer sad about Star Wars. I don't care.
It's true.
They have abused the fan base so much. I do not care about Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like, how badly do you have to screw up to get to that point? To where people like even Jared, Dark Jared, who's positive on everything.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, the Acolyte really wasn't good. And it wasn't just the Acolyte. He was negative on. He was like 50-50 on Obi-Wan, but it wasn't just that. It was Ahsoka. He was pretty soured on too.
It's true.
He was.
I think he more liked Ahsoka than he didn't like though.
What was the other one he hated though?
Boba Fett.
But yeah, like
everyone hated Boba Fett.
Everybody did.
Yeah. Everybody hated Acolyte, and there were things that Jared and I both didn't like about Kenobi and Ahsoka, but I think he was more positive on those ones than the rest of us.
Yeah.
But I still think there's some really great stuff in the Kenobi one, but they just
I don't think
completely screwed it up.
Anything redeemable about that. The only good scene was the flashback scene where they were sword fighting. That's it. With Hayden Christensen and
I don't know. I thought some of the
young Anakin and Obi-Wan sparring in a flashback sequence. That was good.
That was a good scene.
Trip. It is a Severance stream. We're getting there. We got to do the news first, okay? I don't know what this means. The poop police are here, so you got to run.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
You got to slide. Anyway, we'll get to Severance. We'll get to Severance Strip in a bit. We'll get through the news, okay? Did you guys see the D&D stuff? They just relaunched it's not a new edition for some reason. It's still D&D 5e. It's just they've improved 5e.
I thought they were completely making a new version.
No, it's 5
D&D 6.
It's 5e 2.0.
So did they go back on that decision because it used to be that
it is not 6e
and doing D&D 6.
It is not 6e. It is 5e. So most of 5e is still applicable. They've just revamped the classes to make them more playable and completely butchered the lore. This is
She's literally right at the top of the stairs. Why would they put her next to stairs in the picture?
Yeah.
How does she get down the stairs? People have been posting this picture like, oh, do any of these look like someone you'd want to roleplay as? No.
I mean, maybe the guy with the dueling cane.
Nah, he's pretty dumb. But yeah, I had a pretty good comment that no one saw, though. See, my response to how does she get down the stairs is, where do you think the ghosts come from? I'm completely apathetic towards Wizards of the Coast too, and I've spent a lot of money on official Wizards of the Coast stuff, and I will never spend another dime on them because I don't need them. That's the thing. Like, I have a rule book. That's all I need. I can create my own worlds and do my own thing. And screw Wizards of the Coast. They're completely worthless, and they've pissed all over their fan base too.
Yep.
It's they like every week they come out with another tweet disparaging Gary Gygax too. It is absolutely revolting what Wizards of the Coast has done to their founders and to their creators. They've fired so many artists for voting for Trump. It's insane.
Wow.
I thought this one was interesting. Someone did this. Name a character who's not a villain, but you considered one. Should be considered a villain, even though they're not technically a villain. And there were a bunch of lukewarm takes. And then I saw this one, and it pissed me off. Walter White, pre-Heisenberg. Okay. I think they changed it. It was post. It used to say after he turned into Heisenberg. Technically good intentions, but his choices scream otherwise. Like, good intentions don't justify immorality.
Yeah.
Like that the slide pole to hell is lubricated with good intentions, right? It's the entire point of the show is from episode 1. Walter is given an out. In the first episode, he's given a way out of the cancer. And at every turn, he is constantly given outs. I messed up saying it's justification is the lubrication on the slide pole to hell, and the path to hell is paved with good intentions. I mixed those up. It's the same saying. Come on, it's the same
Basically
thing.
the same.
Implied meaning, yeah.
He's given outs the entire way, and he constantly chooses evil.
Yep.
It's kind of the entire point of the show. Breaking Bad is essentially that one Bible verse where Jesus says, "You think that adultery is bad, but I say unto you, if you look upon a woman with lust, you've already committed adultery in your heart." That's Breaking Bad. The desires of your heart matter. And Walter White chooses evil at every turn. He uses his cancer diagnosis as an excuse to justify the immorality that he desired his entire life.
Yeah.
It's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Okay, the book. If you've read the book, it's so much better than any adaptation that's ever been presented. The potion that Dr. Jekyll produces does not change him into a monster. Mr. Hyde is not a beast.
Right.
It changes his appearance. It turns him into a different man. He's actually short. It just turns him into a different person. And he uses that as, I can change my fate. I can put on a mask. And he uses that as an excuse to live out his darkest fantasies and his debauchery and immorality.
Yeah, that's a really good analogy.
That's Walter White. Oh, I have these good intentions. I have an excuse now to finally just be an evil douchebag. The path to the wizard is paved with yellow bricks and poppies. That's a good one. That's a good joke, Martina. Proud of you. Anyway, I think they fixed this tweet because I kind of.
Right. I'll be right back. But yeah, either way, it's still a bad take because even like you explained, pre-Heisenberg, he's a
villain. He's been a villain since episode 1,
and he made the decision to the first people he killed to blow up that thing. I think it was in season 1. So that's before he transitioned to Heisenberg. He was still an evil dude making terrible decisions. He's several opportunities to repent and stop making those choices and didn't do it.
Yep. Yep. Did you see this one? Maybe we save this for David. Okay, we'll save this one. Oh, that's too good. Okay, we'll come back. There's too many good ones. We got through the boring stuff, and now we got some funny memes. But we gotta save them for when David's back. So,
okay.
Do we talk about the premiere or the finale first?
I kind of wanted to talk about Silo first, but
Silo. Okay.
Since this one is supposed to be more of a Severance stream, we can.
It's both. It's not there's no schedule. Let's talk about Silo.
So here's the thing. I really like this show. Like,
it's good.
It is
a good show.
It is well done. Like, so we have talked a lot in the past about whether or not it's been sticking to the book. And I think it's less relevant at this point because it's still like just really well done.
Yeah.
To the point where I would love to read the books, but knowing the books, I don't know. I haven't read the books, obviously, so I can't say that like reading the books and not reading the books affects it or not. But
you don't need to reading the book kind of made season 2 worse for me. Like it. Because it's a good season. Like, it's good, except I was waiting for things to happen the entire time that don't happen. And so I'm disappointed, but it's not because the quality of the TV show is bad. It's just that I was looking forward to seeing some things from the books that don't quite happen. If you're talking about, like, the spirit, the theme of the books, it's 100% perfect adaptation. Like, it is... Yeah. The story of the books. If you're talking about the plot, the actual choices that characters make, it's not very faithful. Season 1 is I'd say like 80% faithful to the plot. Season 2 is like 40%. Like Juliet's story is like 90% faithful to what happens in the books. The stuff that happens in the other silo is literally 0% faithful to the books. It's completely made up. It's a completely different story, and it's disappointing because there were some things that I liked from the story, but again, not because it was bad. There was no point in which it was like, oh, this is just garbage. It was good stuff.
Yeah, like for example, so you had talked about how in the books they basically communicate with each other and they're like, hey, you need to come back.
Yeah, and I'll get into that more when David gets back, right? But yeah.
And that's fine. But like for me, like I felt like it was really good because Juliet's rushing to get back to the silo, but then there's Solo and he's like, no, wait, before you go, I've got to tell you this secret that you have to know. Like you have to know this in order to save your silo. Like this is uttermost most crucial importance that you need to know before you go back. And as they're trying to do that, they hear the boom, the explosion from the silo that's adjacent, right? And then they're like, oh crap, we're too late, you gotta go. Like whatever this was, like you gotta go. And I bring this up because it's essentially like what I love about that is it's saying, look, like it's leading you on, it's trying to show you and give you answers, right? But then it's like, oh, nope, we can't go there just yet. Like that'll be season 3 sort of thing. It's like, okay, we want to tell you this stuff, but we can't quite address it yet because there's more pressing things that we got to take care of. So I liked how the pacing was really nice, where it was trying to lead you toward these answers, and you're starting to feel like you're getting answers, but then in the middle of getting those answers, you're like, dang it, I don't know all the answers. I was gonna get all the answers, but it got interrupted. Now I got to go back. And I think that's just good writing, because it does keep you coming back and wanting to watch more episodes, wanting to learn more, right? And so it was very well done. The pace was very, very well put together.
Talking about Silo season 2 already?
Yeah. Well, because there were so many good things. There's some memes. We'll use them to transition into Severance. I didn't want to waste them on you, but I don't think that's a hot take, Mark. I think that's a bad take. I think season 2 is pretty good.
Well, I liked this last episode. The last 2 episodes were really.
There's
good.
A little bit of filler in the middle, sure.
This finale was a fantastic episode.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I think it's brought down by the rest of the season. That I agree, Mark. It was really slow, and although I enjoyed all of it, it kind of brings the question: why didn't a lot of this stuff happen before? And why? Because suddenly in this episode, Juliet is like, okay, I got to get back to the silo now. I got to get back to the silo now, right? And even she wasn't like that before. She was like, yeah, I need to get back to the silo. Let's do this. Let's, whatever. But now all of a sudden it's super urgent. And then there's an explosion that she can feel. And she's like, oh, crap, I got to get there now. But even before that, it was really weird because she's like, Solo has got something he needs to tell her, right? He's like, I need to tell you this thing. It's very, very important. And he's like, no, I can't remember what it is. Silo. And he said, no, that's why you need to come. You need to come right now. There's something I need to tell you. And he goes there, and they start to work out stuff about the silo. There's some big secret that I'm assuming it's something, setting up something in season 3 and 4. And then there's the explosion, and then he's like, oh, we really do have to go. You have to go right now. And it's like, it didn't explain what he was there to tell her.
It did.
And why it mattered about her going.
He told her about the poison.
Yeah, so you get a little bit of what. So here's the thing. I think
but it didn't explain why that was important for her to know before she left.
That's why. Because if she's going to go outside, she needs to know it to survive. They were able to turn off the poison in this new silo. That's why they didn't die right away.
Yeah. Right, and that part was crazy too. You're like, they didn't die when they first went out? Like,
they died when they tried getting back in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could see him clawing, pulling at the doors and stuff. I thought it was weird that he's like, oh, you need to know this right now. And then she's, oh, what is it? He's like, oh, I don't remember everything. But there's something about poison. And you're like, okay, well, then how did you know that it was super important? Yeah. I agree. It's not as fast.
Home. Oh, wait, no, let's talk about this. Oh, no, now I really do have to go home. I'm like,
there are. I will concede that.
But it was weird because the rest of the season was so slow and she was so casual about everything that was going on in the other silo.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah, there was a little bit of filler. I don't hate slow shows. I kind of like a slow build.
Sure.
But there are moments where you're like, oh, well, if you're doing this, then why aren't you doing this? Sure.
Exactly.
I agree.
See, I felt like that's why I really like this episode, David. Like I was saying earlier, like, because it's like giving you information. It's giving you those answers, right? Like Solo is helping to solve these answers because you get a sneak peek in the episode before of, okay, what's the safety protocol? Right, so it's like, okay, I need to be watching for what that might be. I need to be considering what that is. And then in the next episode, he brings it up and he's like, oh, the safety protocol, it means this, but then he's going to go on, and then they get interrupted, right? So it's like, it's another way of like giving you answers, but also keep you going and watching more, right? And I thought that was very successful because, and I disagree too. I think that Juliet hasn't just been lollygagging the whole time. Like, she's been trying to get stuff.
No.
She just has to get what she needs to be able to get there, right? So
but it just seems like
it's mostly the plot of the original silo that
I agree that is because that is right. Like, and we talked about this last time. There's the urgency of Juliet's story, but then there's the, hey, why isn't this rebellion already happened in the other story, right? And we did talk about that, and I think that is a folly from this season, is that they should have addressed that much sooner.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's lots of things, especially when the when the rebellions and the riots and stuff broke out in the original silo. That was fantastic. But then you got people shouting about the display and say, "Oh yeah, were you there? Did you see the display that came on?" And people are like, "Yeah, I saw the display too." I'm like, why has nobody talked about this for the however many days, 10 days or whatever, since Juliet has left?
But that is also interesting. So there's two parts that I wanted to discuss too. Is that first off, I think they did this so that the timelines lined up, right? Because they wanted to have Juliet kind of build this relationship with Solo and have to go through her stuff. But then they wanted it to line up where she gets back there right in time to save them, or to maybe save them, right? And so I think that's probably why they had a lot of this fluff in the middle, so that it wasn't immediate and she had time to do that. But the other part too that I wanted to also talk about was that with you talking about how like they brought up okay, yeah, I saw it too, sort of thing, right? Like, it's interesting in this particular episode where you start to see that there's a divide even in the people that are mechanical, right? Because there's the people that want to rebel and want to get into IT, and then there's the people that want to rebel so that they can go out. Yeah. And now you start to see these conflicting ideas. Yeah, and so that's kind of why I think it's interesting as well, because it's
it was really fun to see the leaders, like, once they get there, and then the people just keep going. They're like, oh wait, no, we weren't.
Yeah. Right.
That was like a good, like, oh no, this has gone out of hand and we're all going to die now if they try and leave the silo. That was a cool moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked all the writing. It didn't make sense why it didn't happen before. Yeah. I think they could have pulled it off, but the whole time it was just, there was a barricade, and they're like, okay, I guess we can't cross the barricade. They could have constantly, every single day, sending people to clash with the barricade, and try to get around. And then,
I do think, while I did enjoy this season, I do think the book does it better. And you could have still added some of the political intrigue that they wanted to add while maintaining the tight pacing of the book. But I think you would have had to sacrifice a lot of it, and that's what they wanted to focus on instead. I think season one's better. I think season one is a better season.
Could I ask though, do they have the other people in the Solo silo?
The book,
are those in the book?
Yeah,
they are.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, we talked about that before.
Okay. I must have missed that, but because I was wondering if that was part of like the filler and why they.
No, Juliet's storyline is 90% faithful in the second silo. The only thing that's missing is she's talking with Lucas the whole time.
Yeah,
which it still hasn't established that inter-silo communication, so I don't think it's a thing in the show. I think they're aware of other silos, that they exist, but I don't think they communicate.
Yeah, I think they're trying to say that that God voice or whatever is kind of in control of the communication, and so there's not as much communication in intra-silo. And I don't know. We'll see how that plays out, but I liked how it's better in the books, because it solved the biggest issue that both of you guys have with the season is the pacing, right? Mark thought it was a little bit boring, and that's 100% fixed with the communication between Juliet and Lucas. So Lucas is so I can talk about some of the changes. There's still one change that I think they might be able to move on into a season 2, but probably not going to happen at all. Whatever, season 3, whatever.
Was that one of your 2 favorite moments?
Yeah, my 2 favorite moments did not happen.
Both of your 2 favorite moments?
Yeah.
Oh, bummer, man. That sucks.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a bummer. And again, I still like the show, but okay. So let me talk about the changes then. If Lucas is locked in IT the whole time. Well, okay.
In the book, yeah.
Okay. Season 2 starts. Okay, the second half of book 2 should start like this. They go into full rebellion. They march up the stairs and they attack IT. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And they make some makeshift bombs, and they have clubs and pipes and stuff. Okay, so they're melee and plus bombs, which IT was not ready for. But IT has guns, and no one knows they have guns because they've never had to use them before. So they march up saying, "Oh look, we're just." They try and hide their weapons underneath their carts or whatever, and there was a big problem up in the top. We have to fix stuff, the generator's malfunctioning, whatever. They march up to IT and assault it, and it doesn't go well. And my favorite part of the entire series, or the entire book, I've only read book 1, is Lucas doesn't really know what's going on. Okay, it's his first day being told, hey, there's this greater good thing going on, right? There's more to the silo. He gets initiated, and he's just absorbing all of this crazy information. His mind is blown, and then IT gets attacked. Lucas gets put on the front lines, and he is handed a gun and told, protect the silo at all costs. And a bunch of the people from Mechanical get mowed down, and there's an old lady with a bomb, and Lucas is the one who kills her because he freezes the whole time. He shoots her, and then but she drops the bomb, and IT takes a bunch of losses too. But they're ultimately driven back, and they have to run down to the bottom of the silo, and hide out, right? Like they lose. Okay, IT wins because of Lucas. The one shot that he takes, he murders an old lady who drops her little pipe bomb, whatever it was. And so it's the best instance of the good people on both sides, right? It's wonderful. Yeah. He's like, for all he knows is these people are trying to he just barely got all this information that it's bad outside. Okay, the screens are not a lie. We're just lying to the people going outside so they go and clean, right? We want to maintain this era of, or this illusion that there is no hope, because it's true, there is no hope, right? But for different reasons. So they've manufactured the situation to suppress the natural human gene of hope, right? Oh, yours isn't working. Here, let me.
What?
Prophet wants to jump on, and
I didn't see didn't see the chat before you mentioned it.
This one's the where is it? Yeah, because it pops up on YouTube before it.
Right. Pops up in the screen.
Prophet. This is the permanent link, so this should always work. There you go. Silo.
Yeah. So then what happens after that incident?
So that's my favorite moment that was scrapped from the TV show is Lucas is forced to kill his friends because he's just been told that there's something, that the silo is more important than himself, right? And it's this beautiful moment of gray morality of good people on both sides, and it's I think it's fantastic. And that doesn't happen because he's not even made the IT Shadow until much later.
Yeah.
And then for the rest of the book, Mechanical is being hunted down by IT, and they're just trying to survive. So they put up a barricade after their assault, and they're trying to keep IT out, and they keep having to move the barricade back until at the very end they basically go and run and hide in those tunnels.
Okay, so the barricade keeps getting pushed down.
Yeah,
Instead of up like the show.
Yeah, and and then Lucas is he doesn't know about Mechanical's side, right? But he does know, hey, yeah, Bernard is dead set on just killing all of them. And so Juliet knows the entire time that she has to get back or everyone's going to die.
Yeah.
And she's also trying to convince Lucas that Bernard's not a good guy. But Lucas is getting all this new information of like, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Bernard is right.
What's
the
your
whole time?
I'm just getting. What's the season 2 verdict from you guys?
I think season 1 is better. I still enjoyed season 2. I'm frustrated that they made some changes.
Okay.
Yeah,
I like season 2. I think it was a little bit slow, but I liked it overall.
I'd agree with that as well, but I think that it's a really good show regardless. Like whether season 2 or season 1 is better, it's like Silo's a really good show to watch.
It's a good show.
It's really well put together, and that's what I appreciated most. Is like the writing was good, like decisions made sense, like it was just a really good watch. But yes, there were slow parts because it did get some political, maneuvers.
All the like this, it's really just Common and his wife. If they didn't exist, the show would be better.
Yeah,
right?
I wasn't real thrilled with the Camille can stay in the IT. Or the,
but look, that part was really stupid, but it was great because Common gets cucked.
Yeah, I
right. Like I hate the decision, but I also loved it because
so not only does Bernard cuck Common, the fucking Silo itself,
the AI
is like
doesn't seem worthy. But
around. Get the fuck out of here.
But I agree, it's a bad choice. Like she is awful. She is not a good leader for the Silo.
Probably one of the big problems with the show is the show wants you to think that she's some important genius,
and she's not.
And she's just. It's not. She's like she's moving these pieces. It's like
I've been saying it the whole time. They're trying to do. Oh, we're trying to play both sides so that whichever side wins.
They never play any sides.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
They keep saying we're trying to play both sides so that whatever side wins, we still win. Except the problem is the only reason that both sides are still on the game board is because of her.
And then
Bernard wins halfway through the season, and she just lets him go.
And then they're like, "Did we lose?" It's like, dude, this is. So that's
she's not smart. She's not smart, and she should not be a leader. I agree.
Stuff is
it's
definitely
bad.
The weakest part, the weakest stuff of the season.
I
found myself until Weird Family shows up, just wanting to hang out with Juliet and Solo.
I liked them.
Weird Family is a little bit raging bitch. I don't know her name, but I don't like her. She's just mad at the world. Is
that the same redhead from Willow and Star Wars?
I don't know.
This is the misogynistic part of me coming out, but her eyes are way too far apart for me. It freaks me out.
I think it's that same redhead, the Aaron
crazy.
Erin Kellyman. She was in the Falcon and Winter Soldier and Willow.
Well,
is it her?
No. I feel because like the guy.
Oh, it's not.
I don't know.
I don't think it is.
No, I don't think it's her. It's definitely not her.
It looks like her.
But it's like the poor guy is just trying to keep the peace. He's got the extra body to feed, and they're like, and she's like, "You're, I would kill you." It's like Jesus, like. It's like it's four of you left. How about you just like chill?
Yeah. I can't wait for them to have the conversation. Hey, your boyfriend probably needs to impregnate the other girl too, so that the population can survive. I can't wait for that conversation.
I have to ask the question because it's what I immediately thought. Is that the daughter of the woman from the beginning of season 1 that got
probably.
Kicked out?
Wait. Sorry. Say that again.
So the chick that was pregnant, like the first two guys, like the people that we never come back to that die in the first, like I forget. The very acclaimed actors and actresses that are killed off.
No, they die. They die.
It shows them dying on the hill.
The other people in the new silo, they've been there the whole time.
Yeah.
Right.
They just never left. Their parents all died.
I know.
Yeah.
I just,
No.
the ethnicity of the girl. Her name is Hope. I'm like, did she crawl to the other silo after dying and like she had a baby?
Did Parks and Recreation lady survive and have a baby?
Crawl
No,
there and have a baby. Like that was in the back of my mind the whole time, but I guess not. So that's fine by me. I don't want that. So if that's not the case, then good.
Are they related? I don't think so. I don't. It hasn't said in the book. They are like very young, and it's uncomfortable how young they are when they're having kids. And Juliet mentions it. She's like, "Oh,
yeah."
I mean, I guess it was bound to happen, but they're not related." No.
Yeah, well, I mean, it sounds bad, but it sort of forgives some of the stupid things they're doing and the stupid moves they make because they're just children and they don't know any better. So it's like, her hiding under a dead body to try and kill Juliet, which is extremely dumb. It's like, well, she's a dumb kid, so like, they
haven't had to do much fighting. They're just
sort of a failsafe for the show. They can make stupid decisions because they're dumb kids, so it's a pass, right? They can do that, so So I wasn't thrilled with the ending, but that's just me.
I will say the show made a few tweaks to that storyline that made it more exciting, like having the twist that I guess it wasn't really a twist. They tried to make the audience think that Solo was a different person. Like from the get-go, right. that he was the son of the sheriff in the book. And when they try and say, "Oh, he's not Solo, he's pretending to be," so he's assuming the identity of another person.
Dude, Steve Zahn crushed it.
He's phenomenal.
He's probably my favorite.
He was so good.
Solo was such a great character.
He crushed it just when he went back to the school and put his lunchbox back down, and Steve Zahn crushed it. It was such a good
my favorite bit from him was, I think, last episode when he finally lets him into the silo, and he's like, "You guys are hungry? I've got some food." Oh, wait. Have you guys had ice cream? And he gives them ice cream, and then he's like,
music.
Later, we're talking about music. I think music is better than ice cream.
The song that he chooses is the Monster Mash.
Yeah.
Which...
It's sort of in his element.
Great.
It's sort of in his element sharing. Yeah. So it's very, very heartwarming, and then you get back to you see actually how much of a friendship the two of them have become. Yeah. Just he crushes it.
Yeah, he was great, and the little changes that they made to that storyline made it better from the book. Unfortunately, the changes in the other silo made it significantly worse.
And I gotta say too that like that moment too, right before she goes out, and he's like, "I know you told them that you weren't gonna come back for a reason, but like, are you gonna come back?" Like,
it's like that was a bunch of that was a bunch of bullshit, right? You're coming back, right? Yeah, right?
Yeah,
that was great. That was good.
It was so good.
Steve,
you could see like the childishness in him, but like he's just so attached to her, and he just played it so well.
I feel like I haven't seen Steve Zahn in a movie since Sahara.
Yeah,
and he needs to be in more things because he's fantastic.
I think he's been in a bunch. He just doesn't realize it.
He's been in a lot of movies. He's not been in a lot of popular movies.
He was in what movie is fantastic?
Is his best movie, by the way. So
what movie?
Saving Silverman is his best movie.
Oh, I haven't seen it. I need to watch that one.
It's so stupid funny. I love it.
I know about the plot. I know the story. I've never watched it.
I love it nonetheless.
He's in The Diary of a Wimpy Kid. He's the dad in that. That movie is actually great. It's not just a good kids movie. It's a good movie.
Yeah.
I haven't seen like the 100 sequels, but the first movie is fantastic. And he's wonderful in it.
Yeah. He does a lot of voice acting in some good movies. In Stuart Little and The Good Dinosaur, and I think there was another one I remember.
I still haven't seen The Good Dinosaur.
He hasn't been in any good movies that I've seen since, you're right, Sahara.
Sahara's so good, though.
Oh, I guess Diary of a Wimpy Kid was 2010, it looks like. Oh! Daddy Daycare. Oh, he was great in Daddy Daycare, man.
Yeah, that's an all-timer.
Yeah.
How did you guys feel about the whole Wash storyline? Because that was another thing that
Pointless.
was just like
Wash or Walker?
Walker. I'm sorry. What did I say?
Yeah.
I said Wash. I meant Walker. Sorry.
Walk.
I
Yeah.
know you meant. Yeah, it was not good.
I didn't like her character, although I did like the reveal that they're doing sign language to each other. I thought that was fine. A little unrealistic that they were able to convey that much information with the hand signs, because you think the hand signs that they develop in mechanical are, instructions on how to, repair the generator when it's really loud and obnoxious. I don't know if they'd have signs to indicate, hey, by the way, there's a camera right there and we're being spied on.
Hey,
but
the one thing
was fine.
I will say, I liked the explanation, but then when they actually showed it, they were doing like baseball hand, like he was like touching his nose, and you're like, that's not like you can't communicate a lot that way.
There's a camera right behind me. Don't talk. It's like, wow, that's pretty...
He's doing.
It's like, what? Oh yeah, it's like
steal. Okay,
don't go upstairs. It's like, what?
Yeah. No, it was fine. It was a little.
It wasn't good maiden hand talk, okay?
I like,
but I like the idea behind it.
Exactly. Yeah. The idea was good. What they showed on camera, whatever. But that was good, and the conversation with Walk and Judge Bernard or whatever,
it was good.
That was really good. Her little monologue to him. Everything else with her this entire season was not great. I didn't.
Well, because the problem is she's acting like, oh, I was working with them the whole time, but she wasn't. Like she betrayed them the whole time and was only redeemed because Jenks. What's his name? Jax? Is it Jax?
The head of
muscle guy.
Head of mechanical guy.
She's only redeemed because Muscle Guy figures it out and gives her an out. Like they're pretending like, oh, like especially when she has the conversation with her ex-wife. She's like, oh, I knew you weren't betraying us. She did. She literally betrayed you guys.
Especially before, initially, she did betray you up until the time that the camera got in there, and then maybe at that time she's like, "Oh crap! How can I?"
It took a white savior to come in and redeem her character.
If he didn't show up and have the plan, then she full on would have been like, "All right, I'm gonna give it." It's like which is just like. Come on! It came out of nowhere. It's just like I don't believe it. It's just unbelievable.
And again, his plot in the books is much better.
Because it was supposed to be a guy.
He's supposed to be just a lonely old man.
Last episode, you talked about how he was going to have to come up with 3 different plans, right? One that's a fake plan. One that the plan they already tried a plan and it failed. That was the first plan, and then you'd have to come up with a fake plan plus the actual real plan, and that was kind of circumvented because the fake plan and the real plan were the same plan.
The same plan.
They meant to get caught.
Yeah,
which was fine.
There's so much that could go wrong though. If your plan means every single one of us needs to be captured, and we also have to rely on the integrity of this one insane lady for the entire plan to work. It was not a good plan.
Well, no, they showed that it was more than just that one person because she dumped all the badges of judicial that had joined their side, right? But it was, there's a lot that could go wrong for that. So I was expecting to, because he said, our plan is to rig up the generator so they explode, right? And then they arrest them before that could get done. But the spoiler was they had already rigged up the generators and they're too late because they told them that was our plan. That's what we're going to do, but they'd already done it. But then they didn't do that.
That is,
they didn't hook it up.
They faked rigged it up. Yeah.
So that was
the plan was to get them all to go down and then cut off the army from the top of the silo.
Yeah.
Well,
which I love.
They're rolling the dice that Bernard sends everybody.
Yeah,
that's true too. But
again, there are a lot of moving pieces, and if
they rolled a lot of natural,
there's a lot of failure points. Yeah,
for this, they got lucky on a lot of aspects.
Yeah, even if they didn't send everybody, though, imagine that they send a good portion of the people.
It's lucky, at least it's still plausible. So
Right.
I'm okay. It's plausible.
Exactly.
It worked. So it's
And
like
it was really cool.
right? It's one of those. So it's like
Yeah.
it's not like it's plausible the plan works. So if everything has to go right for it work, it's still plausible it works. So it's like I'm okay with that.
Yeah, it was fine.
I really liked everything blowing up the stairs and how you see that the timer fell off. Like, oh crap, there's no timer.
Okay, but the fact that they let the doctor fall on that sword instead of the random guy who's not important at all.
Yeah, well,
that was crazy to me.
Well, we know exactly why, because in the scene later, Juliet's talking about getting back to save all the people she loves, and obviously emphasis on my dad.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, yeah, your dad just blew himself up. So,
right, but the scene
for basically nothing, which is bad. But
again, the scene totally works if her dad isn't a doctor.
Yeah, I agree with you, but I also like it too because he believes that his daughter's dead. There's no hope for him. It was like, what else do I have to live for? You know, this is my contribution. So I thought it was fine with that.
But it kind of contradicts the best part. The best part of season 2 was his speech with Bernard, saying like, "Screw you. The only thing I have left is the fact that I'm a doctor. You can't take."
But honestly, I think that's
you're taking that from me too, yeah.
No, you said you wanted to take that from me. The only thing you can't take.
You're right. No, you're right. It's fine. It's consistent. I misspoke. You're right. I realized as I was saying it. I realized as I was saying it that I was wrong. Okay.
You're a big dumb.
I didn't hit send. Thanks.
Maybe you guys can small issue, just a small one. Nobody saw the ladder.
Which
that
ladder?
Lucas climbed up from the pit of death.
Yeah, I noticed that too. That was just
small issue.
One little shot.
Oh no! I think that was him climbing down into the room. There's a ladder that goes down into the room.
So small. It's just like so. First of all, you have this whole thing. Mechanical knows it's there. They play down there the whole time, but nobody's gone into the water ever. First issue. Don't buy it. Second issue is he goes down there, leap of faith type style, finds out that it's like a foot of water. Finds the AI guy, which fine. But then when you come back out, he's not like trying to climb up a rope. He's climbing up a ladder that's attached to the wall to get him out of the pit.
There is a ladder that leads down into the main room before you get to the rope.
So it just skipped him climbing up the rope?
Yeah, it just skipped him climbing up the rope.
Are you I'd have to go back and look.
I'm 90% sure I've seen them climbing down a ladder to get into that room before.
Yes, there is a ladder there.
No, but he's definitely climbing out of. Okay,
he's climbing out of the water from a ladder. Maybe
sure
I'd have to go back and rewatch it. Then I could be wrong.
Go look because
maybe it comes out in a different place that's not accessible from the rest of the room.
Was weird editing, so you didn't But it looked like
I'll go back and watch.
I assumed he was climbing a ladder out of where he saw the algorithm. Like he went to the thing, he talked the algorithm. Then he walked out, and there was a ladder there that he was climbing out of the very bottom of the pit. That could be it could be what you guys said. He climbed the rope and he went down. He's climbing up the other ladder. I'm not sure, but just the way it was cut together, I thought he was climbing out of the bottom of the hole.
I agree. I saw that too, and I thought the same thing. But then I thought, oh, it must have been the other ladder. But I had the same exact thought when I saw that.
Well, and the other thing too, Prophet, was the water was a problem because nobody knew how to swim. There isn't water around.
That's true.
Right?
No one was seeing that much water.
They didn't know how deep it was.
Yep. No, fair enough. Fair enough. You're absolutely right. Nobody knows how to swim. 100%.
Either way, it's probably a bad editing choice.
Yeah. The other thing that I thought was silly is, again, looked really cool. Cool factor, 11 out of 10. But the IT breaking down the barricade with the barrel that they swung over the top portion looked really cool. But IT is in control of the barricade, and there were only 2 other people on the other side of the barricade. So there was absolutely no reason to break down that barricade. They could just
a bit extra.
Unlock the freaking barricade and walk through. If there was a huge group of people there, sure, you gotta surprise them.
It was a cool shot to see it coming in from behind the guy, though. But it was definitely a bit extra too.
It was really cool looking, but completely unnecessary. There's two guys, and you have the key to the barricade. Like,
absolutely.
What are you doing?
Yeah, at first I was like, wait, is that the mechanical that's trying to break that down? And then I was like, oh no, wait, that
was IT, the ones with the keys to the barricade.
Yeah, I was confused by that.
Really cool, but come on.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. And then the last thing that I thought was it was fine, but it was a little bit back and forth. Was with the suit at the end. She's like, "Oh, I got to get the suit. Where's the suit? Okay, here's the suit. Oh, it's all ripped to shreds for some reason. Oh, okay, I got to get my other suit. Oh, there it is. Oh, wait, Solo took the other suit. Where's he going? Oh no, he's just testing the suit. Okay, it's fine. I got the suit. And then for some reason, they have good and bad tape too. They developed it the same way that the other silo did.
No, I don't think they had bad tape. They just had good tape.
Well, he said
why?
Well, yeah. Do you make?
Why would they only have good tape?
Good tape. She had to tell him there was bad tape, so they used the good tape. Like I get what you're saying. It's like he should have just said, "I use the tape," right? Like just.
Right, but the only reason
it's like what the hell?
The tape was bad on purpose across all the silos, so the poison would seep into the suit and they would die and they wouldn't make it over the hill, right? So they clean and then everyone see them die.
I don't know if it was the same across all the silos, but it should be, yeah.
Why would it wouldn't make sense if they had good tape? They sent them out to clean. They cleaned, and they watched them walk over the side and discover another silo. It doesn't make sense.
That's probably a continuity mistake.
Well, but at the same time, like they had the good tape and mechanical, right? So like they probably had access to that.
Only because the good tape, the mechanical developed the good tape. They made it on their own because they discovered that the other tape wasn't very good. Let's make a better tape.
Well, I don't know if it explicitly says they made it.
It does.
It said we developed a better tape and we tried to get IT to use it and they wouldn't use it, even though ours is vastly superior to the one they made. It was kind of weird that we
plot point in season 1 about it.
Yeah.
So it was a little bit weird that the other silo went through the exact same thing and their mechanical or whatever made good tape too. You know, it's like whatever. But it worked. It was fine.
It's like it's a small thing, right? But
exactly.
It's sort of like
I'm nitpicking at this point.
No, it's definitely an oopsie. I agree.
I will say though, I did think that was interesting because it shows that the IT before or the shadow before could have gone out and come back.
Yeah.
Right? They were talking about how they got it fixed. They fixed the solution. So it could have shown that they were able to go out and come back in. But the other thing too is I actually think that's a really good plot point because obviously the suit she has now is a fire suit, whereas the white one she would have had before isn't.
I didn't pick up that detail. You're right. It's a fireman's suit, and she's in fire now.
Exactly. Yeah, so that's going to be key for her to survive that fire crash.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Because she's wearing a fireman's suit, not the white suit.
And Bernard is toast, quite literally.
Yeah, or she can try to protect him with her shoot.
Sure, yeah. But it seemed that fire seemed like it was an absolute kiln, to incinerate everything. So,
and oopsie, like when Jared killed our named dancer last night.
What? Jared?
Don't bring that up.
Which one was it?
No, I found it. I ran across a name. We're playing Conan.
Oh, it's a named dancer.
Literally one hit away from knocking out a named dancer to haul back to our base as a slave, and Jared just walks up and stabs her because he thought I was fighting her.
It's okay. I'm carrying bludgeon weapons now.
Freaking
That's
idiot.
Hilarious.
Man, it's hard to find.
For rubbing that in.
That's a fun game, though, right, Jared?
It's fun.
Anyway, it has been fun. There's a lot that I got to do to catch up to you guys, though.
The fire suit is a detail they added in the show, which I think is a good change.
Well, so like I get it's there, but I don't know that the fire suit's really going to. I mean, that's why it's there. But it's a little. I mean, that's a good ass fire suit. We'll just say that.
Yeah.
And her helmet melted on top of her face. So it's one of those. We'll let it go. It's the little things you let it go because there's a lot of good things going on.
Well,
right?
it's not. So the room incinerates. to burn out like all the toxins in the air. It's not like cremating a body inside. It's
that's what they
purifying it.
Okay.
I mean, it's not going to burn for long enough to to burn through a fire suit. It's just it's like a decontamination spray when you come in from space, right?
Yeah.
Well, then Bernard should be alive too. Then
maybe.
I'm just saying it's not.
Except
it's enough to do damage.
Maybe the brain should be alive. Okay.
It's a plot point that when some people go out to clean, they just stay and let themselves get burned to death.
Yeah.
Rather than go outside.
Right. So okay, fair enough.
So it's enough to kill you, but if you're wearing a suit, it's probably enough to save you. So in the book, she brings like a fire retardant blanket. Because she knows she's going to have to come in the books. She knows that someone is going out to clean, and she thinks that it's Lucas.
At least they've accounted for it. That's all I care about. They gave her a fire suit. The fire is going to hit her. It's not just like magically Bernard fell on top of her and she survived.
Yeah.
They've accounted for it. They've given you a reason why she can survive. That's fine. I wasn't really thrilled with it ending that way, but
it's not a terrible place to end. There's only a little bit left in the book after that.
You get the sinister Catherine Wig, the Iron Fist.
Yeah. It took me a while to figure out who she was. I was like, oh wait, oh no, I recognized her from Iron Fist. Oh no, I was like, I've seen this girl before. I've seen this lady before. What was she in?
She's just as much of a bitch to males in this show as she is in Iron Fist. No, sorry, that was me.
I don't think I ever watched season 2 of that.
Don't worry about it.
I didn't finish. I didn't watch The Punisher season 2. I started it, and it wasn't very good.
The Punisher season 2 was not as good as the first one, but
first one's fantastic. Season 1 of Punisher is fantastic.
Daredevil, I'm hyped. I don't want to be distracted, but
I never finished Iron Fist season 2 or Punisher or Jessica Jones season 2. I watched all of the rest.
Jones season 2 was really, really bad.
I rage quit that one.
Yeah.
Luke Cage 2 was bad too.
Oh, I didn't even know I didn't even know there was a Luke Cage season 2 because the second half of Luke Cage was so bad. I didn't want to keep going.
That's right. It was
first half of Luke Cage is literal perfection, and then the second half is like, you took the best bad guy and replaced him with the worst bad lady.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Was David Tennant in that one too?
No,
that was season of Jessica Jones. That was fantastic.
The minute they killed him, you realize he carried that show.
He was such a good villain. Okay, point of the story is it's not a bad place to end the book. To end the season, there's not a lot left. Like basically, to go into some of the changes, the reason that she's rushing back to the other silo. She's trying to get there, she's trying to find a way to connect them underneath, right? She thinks that the tunnel at the bottom connects the silos too, which is why she's draining it. There isn't pushback from Solo. Like she's the one that wants to pump out the silo and find a way over. But then she realizes that they don't have enough time to wait for it to drain because the inciting incident is Lucas gets sent out to clean. So Lucas has been locked up in IT the whole time and talking to her on the radio, and she's slowly converting him to realize, like, hey, and that's my favorite part about the books is that Bernard is right the whole time. His methods are wrong, and he lets the power get to his head, but he's right. You can't leave the silo or you're going to die. And so everything he's doing is trying to keep people inside the silo. And I think the book is just the best example of the whole good people on both sides thing, right? Where it's this gray morality. And that's why my favorite moment is when Lucas has to straight up murder an old lady to protect the silo. And he's fighting against the people that are on his side. And so the whole time he's dealing with this new information of the greater good while also talking with Juliet, and she's trying to convert him like, hey, even though it is good, like Bernard's not good for the silo, okay? Even though he's right, his choices aren't good. And Bernard finds out that he's kind of lost Lucas. He finds out he's been talking to her, and tricks him into saying he wants to go out. Because he's literally been locked in a room for the entire second half of the book. Because after he kills the old lady, Bernard realizes, oh, if you're going to be my shadow, you can't be in harm's way. So I'll stay outside and run things. You're going to be locked up in the room. He's literally going stir crazy and says, you gotta let me out for a bit. And Bernard records, has his radio button down and says, did you hear that, Sheriff? Lucas wants to be sent out to clean. So that's the inciting incident that forces Juliet to say, I can't wait for the bottom to drain. I have to get there now. So she throws on the suit and runs back, and the silo doors open, and she runs in and tackles who she thinks is Lucas to the ground, covers him with a fire blanket, and he punches and kicks her, pushes his way out, and burns to death. Turns out it was Bernard, because that was like the last straw that people realize he's a dick, and they realize he's been lying the whole time. Like, his lies get exposed, and so they send Bernard out to clean, and she survives because she has a fire blanket.
Do you think they're going nuclear holocaust or one dirty bomb, and they decided this is an experiment type deal, or is it going to be? I read because I had to. I read some of the wiki, so I know.
Yeah, well, the book. Yeah, it's explained in book 1 what happens. Not the specifics, but
no. I understand what happened in the world of the book. I'm saying, do you think they're going to do nuclear holocaust in the show, or is it going to be something more sinister with the senator guy?
Yes, they're pretty clearly setting that up.
Yeah,
because that's the big reveal at the end of book. It's not at the end; it's in the middle. The whole metaphor for the silos and the whole poison stuff isn't revealed in book 1. Really, I don't even know if that's a thing. It might be in later books, but it goes in line with the other reveals in book 1. That look, it's called a silo because we are the grain, right? We are being kept to be used later. And what happens, what do you do when your grain goes bad? You kill it all. So that's what the poison's for. They are seeds to be used in the future. And the big reveal was they started the apocalypse.
Yeah. Yeah, I read, yeah.
So whoever's behind the silo, they're the ones that created the end of the world to eliminate enemies or something. It's not super clear why they did it, but they're like, we're going to kill everyone and start from scratch. And these are our silos full of grain.
Interesting.
Spoiler talk. You're going to start watching Silo later. We've been talking spoilers the whole time. Jacob, what are you doing? We've been talking spoilers this whole time. I've only read book 1. That's just revealed in book 1, and it's heavily hinted at in these first 2 seasons. I have not read any of book 2 or 3, so I'm still doing a lot of speculating too.
Well, and that is what they did with that scene at the end where it went into the past. It was like
that's heavily what they're hinting at. Yes.
Yeah, they were expressing that same idea.
Yeah. So. Although what kind of idiot buys a Pez dispenser
for a date?
Like, obviously that's what it was. I'm like the whole time, like it's gonna be that Pez dispenser, but. Like,
I'm gonna read book 2. Don't spoil me. Don't spoil it for me.
Yeah. But yeah, I enjoyed it overall. It was really good. Season 1.
I think all of the problems for season 2 can be fixed by establishing the communication too. Oh, and the other thing is Walker. Is it Walker? No, Walker. It's not Walsh. It's Walker.
Yeah.
Because Mechanical is cut off the whole time. They lose their fight, and they're just behind a barricade the whole time fighting for their life. they're desperate, and Walker ends up fixing a radio too, and finds out that Juliet's alive.
Oh.
And that's kind of what helps expose Bernard's lies too.
Gotcha.
So
it's really cool though when she's trying to fix the radio the whole time, and she realizes that there's like a section a section of the radio that's been disabled on all of their radios. And they're like, oh, and she realizes this is to communicate between silos. And so she's fiddling. Well, she doesn't realize it at the moment, but she's fiddling between trying to get the radio to work properly. And she picks up Juliet's voice, and it's when she's drowning. She's drowning.
Snap.
She's talking to, and so she can only hear her. She's talking to Solo like, there's no more air. Like why is the air turned off? And Solo's not responding because he's been knocked out. And so she tunes in just to hear Juliet dying. It's really, really cool. And then they get that working later on. It's really cool.
That's crazy.
There's a lot of really cool stuff in the book, and there's one moment that they might do later, so I still won't talk about.
And I imagine they could still do the radio stuff too. Like maybe it didn't
I think you're. I think you guys are right. I think they're not. There's no communication. I think the communication between silos is monitored by that AI. It's probably not AI. It's probably a guy, but some voice.
Yeah. So at the end there, when Sims and his wife are talking, is that
that's
down?
The same.
That's down in the tunnel?
No, that's in the secret IT room
archive.
that Lucas was supposed to be in the whole time. And I guess I'm pretty sure it's the same voice that Lucas found at the bottom.
Yeah, for some reason it wants Camille. I don't understand why.
Right.
What a bad choice. What a horrible choice.
I think it's because she was put in the side, like she was put in the silo first, sort of thing.
No, she explicitly said she's putting herself first the whole time.
Yeah.
She doesn't care about the silo. She cares about power.
That's true.
Yeah.
What an awful choice for a new leader. And it's supposed to be Lucas the whole time. I don't like Common and his wife aren't characters in the books, and the show would be better if they didn't exist.
Well, what is Lucas now going to be in season if they do?
I don't know. He's supposed to be in charge of the silo. And they make Juliet the mayor.
So I mean, I can still see that happening, but it's like, what is Lucas is now like found out what's going on, so he is now reserved to what in the next season? Nothing.
I don't know. I didn't love the Lucas's plot in this last episode. Of I guess it was revealed that he found out the truth behind the silos that if the seed goes bad, they kill everyone.
Well, I'm assuming that's what was told in the tunnel.
And so that's why he gave up. But it was not fun to see him giving up. I wanted to see him trying to save the silo. Let me in.
Well,
I gotta save the silo. Oh, it's too late. So we're all just gonna die.
Mean he was giving up. I took that.
He completely gave up this whole episode.
Well, he gave up, and then he went up and told Bernard, so Bernard gave up. It was like that was the whole reason he gave up, was so he could crush Bernard. So Bernard.
Yeah, I didn't love Bernard fleeing either. I like him getting kicked out because he's a dick.
Well, and that was weird too because he just walks past a ton of people, and I was like, dude, you literally he's the problem. Why aren't you guys attacking him?
Yeah, and they're trying to. He's barricaded in, and they're trying to break down the door to get to him.
Well, after he walked by him, though, they all let him get barricaded.
That's what I'm saying.
The other guys weren't there first, though. He walked into the.
I don't know. I don't know. It makes you wonder why they changed all of it.
Yeah, it would have been better if they kicked him out. You're right.
See, look, I realize that this is a correction to your previous comment, but it sounds like Yoda saying. Stay celibate until marriage, Save yourself for marriage, I will. Put not out, I must.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's good. I wish it was a little bit better. I kind of feel this. I just have the same.
It went from really good to passable.
Yeah,
there's
definitely filler that could be removed, but
passable.
It was fine.
Good.
Season 1, I felt like was really, really good. And season 2 was like it was okay. Like I didn't find myself being like, wow, okay. It was just sort of like And I think a lot of that is just a lot of the Silo storyline, not the Juliet stuff. Because the Juliet solo stuff was
Yeah,
really
and again,
good.
and I think that could be fixed if they were communicating the whole time. Right, if because that would connect the two storylines and that would fix the whole problem. That would fix the whole problem of season 2.
Do I get to be the a-hole in the room that says, did they really trash the whole storyline to have an old man lesbian story or an old woman lesbian story? Is that why they trashed the storyline?
Well, and because they wanted Common and his wife to be in the story. I guess.
Is that really why? I mean, it's like that's crazy. Yeah, it's like it's crazy if that's why you lost all that stuff.
Yeah,
I don't think so. I think it was mainly to try to align the timelines. But
they were already aligned. You didn't need to realign them. They were better aligned in the books.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Like there was a direct connection to the storylines in the books.
Yeah, you're right.
Their meddling is what made them not aligned. But
yeah,
I enjoyed it. It sounds like I hated the show for all this criticism, but I criticize things I like. Okay, do better, Silo. Okay, you can.
It was still really good.
You can.
It's still enjoyable. Yeah, I will watch season 3. That's
for sure.
Definitely. Yeah. So that's
If it's got more Steve Zahn in it, and if it's got more, if it's got more Becky Fergie in it, I'm all in. So I like it.
Yeah, it's a good show.
Did you watch Severance yet?
Me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Because we can transition into that.
Yes.
But I there were still some memes that we didn't go over. Because David had to step out for a bit, and I didn't want to waste it. Did any of you guys watch? Craven the Hunter?
No,
I didn't.
So I didn't either. I didn't either. But quarterback Garrett posted like a little scene from the movie that apparently is a real thing that really.
Oh, is this another Madam Web scene that you can't believe is actually in the movie type deal?
It's kind of worse. It's a little bit worse.
My God.
Oh boy.
Are you sharing the
7 seconds.
This is a scene.
7 seconds. All right.
This is a scene from the movie, and it
it's
plays.
7 seconds. It can't be that bad, can it?
Okay.
I mean, a lot can happen in 7
I haven't
seconds.
pressed play yet. Okay, it's the same scene twice. It's only 3 seconds. Okay.
What?
Oh my God. Okay.
It'll play the same scene, and then it will zoom in and replay the same scene. Okay. Just.
That is a weird looking human right there.
Look. I hope.
I have to say it. Okay, say it.
I hope your butt cheeks are clenched. I hope you're ready for this. Okay. Because this is just okay.
Play it already.
Look at what you became.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, the lips.
Look at what you became. Look at what.
Yeah,
I could tell there was something wrong with your lips.
You're right.
That's
you
why
called it out.
Weird look.
Man,
I had no idea that's what this was.
So
this so weird.
It's a still shot.
This is ADR extreme.
Yeah.
They did ADR on a character who was facing the camera, so they also did a lip replacement, and it looks like the annoying orange. Okay.
Yeah. No.
Look at it again. Watch. It's so good.
Look at what you became.
Oh my God.
Look at what you became.
Yeah,
It's so off.
bad.
It's so off.
Oh, it's so good. I love it so much.
That's worse than the Superman stash, right? That's so bad.
It's so great because she's standing complete. I think they actually for a set. It's not a freeze frame.
Yeah.
So they did.
Oh my God! With her mouth open. Just look at it. Go a little bit further.
It kind of looks like. It kind of even looks like it might have been like a white woman versus a.
Yeah, the lips are a different color.
Yeah.
Oh.
That right there.
Right there. Look. She's got a milk mustache, man.
Oh my God.
So they brought her into studio to do ADR, and then they're going in to replace the line, and they're. Oh no. She's facing the camera. And so they called in their secretary and said, "Okay, let me film your lips real quick. I want to go to like a different scene and compare like her teeth
Yeah.
in the rest of the movie to see if those are different too." But isn't that just
Game.
oh, and the fact that she's not moving but her mouth is, and her eyes are blinking at a
Look at what you became.
oh,
Yeah.
it's so gross.
Yeah, you can see. Look at her chin there too. There's a part where her
Your chin doesn't move.
to open, and it just compresses
Yep.
her chin.
Look at what you became.
Oh gosh!
There's
Oh,
a part-
it's so
yeah,
bad.
her chin clips through her chin.
Yeah.
Right there. Woo!
That
It's
is
not showing.
This is amazing, man. Look at the things
Look at what
Hollywood
you
can do.
became.
Like, look at the special effects that are coming out of Hollywood. That's seamless.
Yeah.
Like, that's,
Look. And what's crazy, they could have just deepfaked her onto herself,
Exactly.
which is the best case scenario because it doesn't have to do any changes, right? Like,
Yeah.
How important is this line to the movie?
I don't know. I have no idea. I really want to see the movie to figure out the answer to that question now.
Again, even if it was that important, do a shot of whoever he's talking to. Heck, you can even do a freeze frame for those 3 seconds and say, "Look what you became."
Quizmaster Darnold needs to get his eyes checked because I I called it out before it even played.
Yeah.
Something was weird with her.
Yeah,
Like,
I
if you go back to
I saw
frame
it
one-
before it zoomed in too.
Go
Yeah, the
back
first
to
time.
Frame one, she looked. If you go back to, she looked
You can see it in
weird.
yes.
There's something is not right here.
It's the milk mustache, dude. It's not her lips.
You're right. I don't know if they got the
her
same.
mouth is too big for her fucking head.
It's at the wrong angle too.
Yeah.
So it's not filmed in the same perspective.
What does this actress look? She should be.
Oh, it's
she
right
should
there, actually.
sue. What does she look like without this? Like she.
It looks okay here.
No, so go back. It's actually before that, Alan. Right, a little bit more, because she has a wider mouth, and then it kind of shortens a little bit.
Yeah.
See, so that's her mouth.
Oh, that's huge.
That's her actual mouth.
I don't think so.
No,
No,
the mouth has been replaced the whole
Right
time.
there, right there,
It's still
right
askew.
with her when she's doing this. It's sort of normal.
Right there, it goes to a shorter mouth.
The lip pucker is sort of makes it a little bit normal. So a little bit further, a little bit.
Oh, right here you can see that like her tongue like fades
Yeah.
in.
It's so weird. So if you
And
go
again,
right
that's a
little
good
bit more.
thing of
Look at
her
that.
chin
Look at
too.
that.
When she closes her mouth, it sort of looks normal for a second. Right there.
Right there, yeah.
She looks normal.
That
right
looks real.
Yeah.
Right there. She actually looks like a person right there. Actually, again, like it's so weird because the weird mouth makes her look so much less attractive too. She actually looks very attractive.
She's hot,
now.
yeah. Like,
Like the weird mouth. Like I'm serious. She should sue. Like because she looks very attractive right there. With the weird mouth, is like
Oh,
what
it's
is
so
going on
bizarre.
with that woman's mouth.
That's crazy.
Isn't that the craziest thing you've ever seen in your life?
Oh,
That's
weird.
crazy.
Man. What is going on? For Craven the Hunter, we've done this.
Ariana DeBossi.
To save the $1 million, it put it towards your budget. Like it's fine. That line doesn't need to be in it. It's all good.
Or yeah, exactly. Or just use B footage where you're looking at Craven.
I don't think
Have somebody falling off a cliff and saying, "Look what you became," and then that's better.
Okay.
Just the cliffhanger. Just edit in some cliffhanger shit, and it was like, okay.
Yeah, I'm looking at different pictures of her
Just
online.
do a
I
still
don't
of
think those are her
Craven
teeth.
just
That's
standing
someone
there.
else.
Just a still image of him just standing there like this would be better. It's like
Right.
It's like come on. Or just cut the line, dude. That line better be really fucking important.
It better like the entire plot has to hinge on the fact that he
$1 million
became
right
something that he wasn't before,
I know.
and that he needs to at this moment reflect on that change.
Yeah,
Like-
it better be flashbacks in his mind at the finale of the show, that mind just going.
Do it in a flashback. Have him show him thinking, and then do a flashback of his transformation. Look at what you became.
The need for Sony to take every Spider-Man villain and try and make them an anti-hero good guy.
It's bizarre.
Craven the Hunter's an asshole. Why are we?
He's the worst. He's the worst character. Did you see the news though? It wasn't part of their contracts that they couldn't use Spider-Man this whole time. They could have been using Spider-Man this entire time.
What? Seriously?
Well,
yeah. I'm not sure if that's true, but that was a news that did come out.
There's no way.
Yeah, someone reported that, but I don't think that's accurate.
There's no way they did that crappy Venom 3 movie.
I agree.
We couldn't have had Spider-Man v Venom or something like that. Which sucks because I actually enjoyed the first 2 Venom movies for what they are. Venom 3 was total trash.
I haven't seen that one yet.
And I have my doubts, right? Sony reportedly could have used Tom Holland's Spider-Man in the Spider-Man universe all along, but wanted to focus on the villains instead.
Tom Holland. There's no way.
Exactly. It would come with a cost. You'd have to
Tom
pay
Holland.
him.
Yeah.
And I don't believe that this is 100% genuine, but at the same time, Sony is incredibly retarded.
Well, it's
a little bit believable.
Look, it's sort of believable because I believe they don't want to play Tom Holland, but hello, pay him. It's a Spider-Man movie then.
Right.
Pay
So that could be the stipulation, right?
It's
like maybe
Spider-Man.
that could have been like the straw that broke the camel's back. Like maybe what the deal breaker was that it had to be Tom Holland Spider-Man if they were going to include him. And
I'm sure
they couldn't use their own Spider-Man.
I don't think that's an issue though, because they have Tom Hardy and freaking who was Carnage, Woody Harrelson. Like these are big name actors too, and they don't want to pay Tom Holland, who's a newcomer to Hollywood.
But you also have to.
Doesn't make sense.
That means here's playing devil's advocate. If I'm Sony, and the only way I can include Spider-Man in my movies is to make sure it's Tom Holland Spider-Man, that means I have to watch the MCU movies.
Well,
to keep Spider-Man in my movies, I might say no to that.
Well, but here's the thing, right? Then as Sony, you negotiate and say, look, okay, we don't want to use Tom Holland, but Andrew Garfield, let's use him because he wants to do it again, and he wasn't happy with how his ended. And we can have a Spider-Man versus Venom movie, and it's not Spider-Man 3. Could we please just make $1 billion together?
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't believe this report. I think it's fake.
Yeah, I don't believe.
I don't think there's any way.
I think it's true, but we're not getting all the details. There's a but that's included in the contract that pushed this choice.
Made hundreds of millions of dollars. I don't believe it. I don't believe they had access to Spider-Man. They chose not to. That's crazy talk.
Okay, the rest I have are memes, which were supposed to be at the end of our news segment to lighten the mood. But have you guys seen this comic before? This is an infamously horrible comic, right? Yeah. My bike got stolen recently. I was pretty bummed out about it, but I think whoever stole it was probably more happy to get it than I am sad to lose it. So the total happiness in the world has increased. So whatever.
All right, you do you, man.
No, like this comic.
Is there the continuation about when he gets hit in the crosswalk by the car and dies?
No,
and then the happiness of the world goes even further up because he's gone. Oh, sorry, that was mean.
This comic is infamously horrible. He's a raging communist.
Holy
and
crap.
And he's never been funny once. But this is a very famous comic panel. And this week, I saw someone parody it, and so I needed to show you the original to compare it, because it's great.
Oh no! Oh no!
I'll be aborted soon. I was pretty bummed out about it, but I think my mother is more happy to abort me than I am sad to die.
Oh no!
So the total happiness in the world increased.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's awful.
Well, I guess
So whatever.
I guess they really are letting anything on X these days. Aren't they?
I know. I love it.
Holy
I love X
shit.
so much.
Wow.
I mean,
Holy shnikes. That is.
man.
Oh my god.
It's good, right?
Wowie
Did you
zowie.
see that unhinged post behind that?
Holy
I did.
crap.
Goodness.
This is a follow-up for last week's stream.
Oh, yes.
We got a classic George. George Alexopoulos. I always forget his last name. Don't worry, I'm an emergency responder who looks like you. Looks like he got himself in the wrong place.
This is from
So
the
good.
fire people in
Yeah.
LA, the chief that
Yep.
said that.
Yeah,
right?
this one. Yeah,
What a fucking. Oh, God. Yeah. Oh.
yeah. It was. What's so DEI? I'm a DEI hire, and people keep asking me, "Am I strong enough to do this job?" Well, my response to that is, "You couldn't carry my husband out of a fire." And my response to that is, he got himself in the wrong place if I have to carry him out of a fire. This is whenever the left tries to do like the whole like, oh, you can't define what woke means. This is the definition of woke.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Did you see
like seeing that crap, like, because my dad, like, we're from LA originally, right? So half the places where I grew up played soccer.
I was born in Tracy, California, baby.
Dude, that's crazy. My uncle lived in Tracy for 20 years.
Yeah, I don't remember it. That's why my band is called Forget Tracy, because we moved when I was 3.
But like, so I lived in California for 24 years, maybe even.
It is so beautiful. I love California, but I hate
beautiful.
California.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like all the places that we went to for soccer tournaments, baseball tournaments, everything, they're all gone. And then you see this shit.
Yeah.
It's like it's like, oh, we hooked up the fire hose to the fire hydrant and no water came out because we forgot to fill up the reservoir. It's like, great. Well,
No,
yeah.
they didn't forget to fill them up. They intentionally drained them to save a species of fish that literally cannot swim.
I made it sound way better than it actually was.
The fish can't swim, okay? Look, I'm all for wildlife preservation, okay? But at some point, natural selection has to kick in, okay? Yeah. There's a reason the dodo went extinct, and it's not because we hunted them to extinction. It's because they're retarded.
Well, like, and then what about all the money for the other reservoirs you're supposed to be filling up and building?
Yeah,
and we talked about this last time.
Okay. We'll go down this rabbit hole. But it's just...
living in Utah, I'm even more pissed about it because they drained our lakes.
Yeah.
To feed water to California that they didn't keep. They dumped in the ocean.
Yep, I watched that video too.
They drained Lake Powell and they drained Flaming Gorge.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. How Newsom isn't strung up by his neck and along with everybody else that's involved in this is just like
it.
Yeah.
It's insane.
But we don't.
Did you guys see the Babylon Bee follow up to that though?
Oh no. Was it good?
Oh yeah.
Was it on the post?
They posted a not on this post in particular. They posted a parody to the original video. With
this is great.
That's good. They posted a follow-up video with a handicapped fireman in a wheelchair. It's great, man.
In a wheelchair. They can't go up the stairs. It's D&D all over again.
Yeah, it's great.
Flaming Gorge does sound like a gay punk band for sure.
Yeah, ouch.
I didn't see that one, yeah.
It's good.
All right.
After this.
So to transition into Severance.
Favorite place, Screen Rant, baby.
Oh, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, this, and I've seen this in several places. Anytime I can use a Screen Rant article, I gotta default to Screen Rant, baby, because the most trusted name in news. Only CNN is more trusted than Screen Rant. But apparently, Severance season 2's budget ballooned so big during filming that it wiped out all of their profit from season 1. And
I I don't feel like that's that big a
that's kind of what you want. You want to use the money from season 1 to make season 2.
That's kind of what all production companies do, right? You make money and then you double down and make.
Okay, but if I'm right, so that means all of season 2 equals profit.
Sure.
Right?
If it makes money, yeah.
Right. That's what happens. If the season does really good, it makes more money, and then you can blow it all on the next season, right?
Well,
you can tell that.
You also have to take into consideration the 3-year delay that adds a whole bunch of stuff.
Look,
and inflation.
What's the number? Like, give me a number. Like,
Exactly.
wiping out all the profit, that could be $10 million for all I know. I don't know what the profit was for season 1 of Severance.
20 million per episode on season 2.
20 million per episode. What the hell are they doing? Like,
I don't know.
Episode 1 didn't look like it was $20 million.
That is still less than The Acolyte.
Yeah.
And did you see that? Did you see Willow? Spent like 19 million per episode or something like that.
Not even on Disney Plus anymore.
I gotta look up the number. Maybe it was like 15.
No, we don't need to talk about Willow. We don't need to bring that up again.
We already talked.
No.
Look, I just like my only like I don't know. I have very mixed feelings about Severance. But I don't see where $20 million went into episode 1 of season 2. But
no, and you know, Severance is like it's the perfect show to film on a volume too. Like you wouldn't be able to tell the difference.
True, because
I don't know. That whole scene at the first was pretty cool.
The opening sequence, the opening shot is phenomenal.
That was way cool.
It's really good.
Yeah.
It's also not that hard to do.
Apparently, it's just him running down the hallway, though. Like, I mean, I know there's some camera tricks and stuff happening, right? But I don't. But I don't. What I mean, that's just can't. I don't see that costing 20. And then when it comes down to it, you use the same set. It's just a room with tables. I mean, I could set that up for $150.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping that means that we're going to get some answers later in the season.
I mean, right. So that I guess, but like, if 20 million was spent on, I just don't see where 20 million was spent on episode 1.
Exactly, and I think this isn't taking into consideration the costs that start taking place when something is delayed for 3 years.
Possibly.
Because you have to pay interest on your loans that entire
don't see this
time.
Being the damning statement that they think it is, because it's like we all just said. It's like, okay, you used
like
all the
this
profit,
is normal. Yeah,
you used all the profit that you made to double down on something
to try and make season 2 even better,
and you've
with some asterisks like.
Right. And it's like, okay, so now that we've used all our profits, that means everything that we are making from here on is profit. So we're back in the green. So it's like.
It's much better than going into debt for season 2.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like Severance used all the money they didn't make to make season 2. It's like, okay.
Yeah. But this is nothing new though. Like, if season 2 makes more money, then season 3's production is going to be higher. They're going to have more money to blow on season 3 and make it even better.
So
and you can tell that the production value will go up and down for a series, when viewership goes up.
So you guys haven't talked about this at all tonight yet?
No. This was we just talked Silo
first getting into Severance. So let's get into it. What do you think of the first episode of season 2?
I liked it a lot.
Me too.
I thought it was a really smart choice to only give you half the story.
Yeah,
at least
from the innies.
Now it's unsustainable. You can't do that the whole season. I'll be pissed. But for the first episode, I thought it was a great choice that only enhanced the story and
so
introduced a lot of questions and also answered some. We got some answers, not as many as, but I think it sets up a really good season 2.
Yeah, and I have some questions, but I'll let you. Steve, you looked like you were going to say something.
I just don't want. No. I try not to interrupt. I want to let you guys all be able to I was trying to interject and being rude, so I muted myself to not be rude. Sorry.
The major criticism is it's just resetting the whole thing and not answering any questions.
I don't think that's
true. And I don't think that's true.
I don't think that's true.
I don't think it's true.
That's what I've seen online.
So I don't think that's true.
It's worthless, you know.
Just to get my 2 cents in real quick, because I'm in this weird place with Severance because I did enjoy it. Okay, but I was like, so season one for me was saved by episode 7.
Yeah.
Because I finally got some answers to something. And then 8 doubled down on that and gave you a lot more answers with a few questions to lead you into season 2. So it was one of those.
There were only 8 episodes, right?
I think it was 8. Was it 8 or 9? I think it was 8.
There's 9. There's 9.
9. Okay, so I'm sorry. So 8 and 9. I think it was 8 and 9.
Like season 1 answers it answers a lot of stuff.
At
like
the end.
Yeah.
End, but you're sitting there going, okay, am I in mystery? Like for me, anyways, I'm sitting here going, am I in mystery box the show? Because I'm intrigued. It's weird. It's interesting. I'm in it. What the hell is going on? Blah blah blah. And then it just keeps going. It's like another weird thing happens, and then do this. It's like, well, okay, Jesus, are you going to answer? And then like the minute you start getting tired of the more questions and going, what the frick is going on? They give you a few answers in that one episode. It's like, okay, good. I'm feeling it. Right, it pulled me in. And then you get episode 9, which gives you a lot of answers.
And then
more questions,
even more questions,
right? But that's okay, right? Because I got a bunch of answers. It's like,
as long as answers keep coming, we're good.
Silo went.
Absolutely, I would read that book. It's phenomenal.
It was like, so you had Silo that did sort of the same thing. A lot of questions, and you started answering it gradually, right? And then so same thing. But I feel like episode 8 and 9 enhanced the whole season just because you're like, okay,
Oh good. Yeah, if they hadn't answered, if it was just weird thing,
right,
and that's all we got season 1, I would not be invested in season 2. But I think the ending of that season justifies a lot of the weird stuff.
And then they've done a good job. I think so. I don't agree at all that it's just rehashing because
it's just a reset.
And I don't agree with that at all because everybody's in different positions. Mrs. Colbert, is it Colbert?
Colbert's gone.
Colbert's somewhere. She's not. I doubt she's gone. She's probably promoted.
Mrs. Selvig.
Selvig. She's probably promoted doing something else somewhere else down on the 7th floor. I'd imagine. And things are different, right? And then you have Mark freaking out. Then you have this wonder.
Mark's trying to. Mark has a bunch more information now that he can use to explore.
So
Lumen.
It makes you wonder.
He's trying to find his wife.
Well, it makes you wonder a few things, and they do a good job of sort of,
The redhead lady is straight up just lying to everybody now, which is cool.
Why is Mark
I have a theory about that.
That they need him? At least
why is what?
Me. Why is Mark so important
that's the big question? Why would they be willing to take all these people back?
Yeah, Mark. Why is Mark so important? So that's number 1. Number 2, is Helly brain damaged or is it Helena? That's
Is it really Helly? That's the question.
Right. That's the number 2 big question, and I think that that gives you a lot to go on in episode 1. So
I wouldn't think it's brain damage. It's either her outie, or she doesn't want the other people. She's like ashamed. She's like, I realized I'm the baddie.
Yes,
and I don't want people to know that.
That's why it's interesting because it could be either. I think
exactly. It could, and that's why I like it. I really like that choice to have her lie, and you're like, oh crap! I don't know who this character is anymore.
I don't know. I agree. I thought that was really strong actually because literally like everybody else is telling the truth, but because she is like she knows who she is and she's such a big part of it now. Of course she wants to lie because she doesn't want them to know
she's related, right? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that she's the cause of it. Like she could change it and she didn't.
Or at least her outie is.
That's what makes it interesting. Yeah. Oh, sorry.
No, I agree. I agree 100%. At first, when she started lying, I thought that was definitely her outie. Again, too, because what motivation would her outie have to come back to Lumen? Other than to get the group back together and convince them to stay as well. No, her outie. Her outie is in charge of everything out there, right? Yeah. So why would she go back? And the only reason,
that comes back to the Mark S thing, right? It's like I feel like so they've done a good job of making you go, okay. It still could be either. It could be. It could still be Heli. It could be Helena. I think it's Helena playing both sides. Because the company's probably like in a lot of trouble or recovering from it. So I personally think it's probably Helena. But either way is good, which makes it awesome because you're guessing.
It does.
And you're like both answers equal yes, right?
The other
so,
satisfactory. Yeah.
The other choice that we already talked about, which was to only show the Innie story for this episode, or really just Mark S's perspective, is you don't even know if his Audi is safe. Like, he could be kidnapped, tied up in a basement for all we know, and who even knows if the clocks are accurate, right? His it could Audi, be the same day. He could be walking in and out.
Yes,
of this thing.
Well, they tell him
of
6
Lumen,
months, right? They tell him 6 months.
Yeah,
that's what they tell him. But
I don't believe it's been 6 months for a second.
Nope. I don't believe it is. I believe it's been like a week, maybe, or 2 days, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing too
and that could
is
be a big reveal.
Why they brought back the team, right? Like, why did they bring him into an old team and have him?
I really loved the cameos, like the replacements were hilarious.
I hope we see more of them because they were great.
Yeah, but then
the butt kisser who was just willing to do anything to.
Where literally they're like, oh yeah, they don't want to come back. Well, why would they all come back? You know, like why would they all agree to come back?
I don't know.
They want the team to come back together.
I don't know, and I think that it was brilliant to not give the answer to that question.
Yeah, no, I agree
for this episode.
But here's the thing, right? Here's the thing, and this is the danger of the show. Yes, to everything you guys said,
but you have to answer all of those questions.
If the answer is stupid, then
exactly
it's like crap, right?
Yeah,
so
I agree.
It's walking a fine line. Right now, everything is good. Like so far, like I was very just engaged, looking for stuff. Like that's also the sign of a good show. That like one of those ones that are mystery box show that's doing good. You're looking around, you're paying attention, you're trying to like what makes sense, what doesn't, why is this, blah 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 blah. Right. The problem is if we get to episode 8, it's like, well, they just needed the money. It's like,
right? No, like there needs to be an answer to what data refinement is. What are they doing when they're dragging numbers into boxes?
Well,
that needs to have an answer, right?
That's what I was going to ask you too. At the end of the episode, they see that Mark is working on his wife's something. What is?
Yeah, right where like flashed her image, and right as he like puts the data in.
He's
that's
doing.
Where I was like, ooh.
Maybe so you guys all saw that. Well, obviously Jared did. So maybe it's like, is he like programming her or something? What is?
That's what I was wondering.
Because did you catch that? Because at the end you get this little flash of her, and you can see he's working on the box, and
I assumed that I don't know if that's directly connected to the data refinement. I think that's just him showing, look, I'm playing along, pretending like I'm doing this, but my goal is find my wife.
Well, but it's he fills up the bin, and it's a direct correlation. It fills up what he.
It's just like a flash. It's just like showing his consciousness.
The same thing happens when he runs into the therapy place to find her, and the little girl is like, "What are you doing here?" or whatever, and it flashes an image of his wife too. Which, by the way, that little girl's totally his daughter, right?
It has to be, right?
Yeah,
that would be a fun reveal.
Wait, if it's his daughter. Oh shit!
It's got to be his daughter with the therapist, right?
What the fuck is going on with Mark S?
I don't know.
I didn't. So I didn't even put that together. That it's his daughter. You're absolutely.
It's got to be. It's got to be because they're gonna try. They're gonna get us to hate her character, and then they're gonna pull the rug and be like, "Ooh, but it's his daughter. Well, screw you!"
Well, what other reason is there to have? Well, and everybody's like, "Why is a kid here?" There's no other reason except for it to be his daughter.
It's got to be his daughter.
100%.
Mark Clark for $4.99. You think that the data refinement is an MK Ultra type thing? My theory behind the data refinement is it's got to be like aliens or something. Like this technology is too crazy. Like I think there's some kind of alien or external entity involved.
Hold on,
and they are trying.
Like Indiana Jones, like
no. Look, hear me out. Look, I don't think the data refinement is something. I don't think that they are doing something. I don't think they're achieving anything with the numbers. I think it's an analysis of the person doing the refinement. I think it's a way to scan the person's brain to like better understand humanity for this alien presence. Because the board, they never speak, right? It's just this ethereal breathing voice on the intercom. Like I think it's something like that.
I don't know. I don't think so.
It doesn't make any sense how that could actually show any sort of intelligence.
I think it's mapping. I think data refinement is acting on the person. I think it's like mapping the human brain of the person doing the data refinement rather than accomplishing a task.
Would you want everyone in the company to cycle through data refinement then?
It's just
a bigger data sample? It doesn't make sense.
I don't know.
So I think we're dealing with
I don't think I have the right answer, but I think it's something like that.
I think it's going to be some occult thing like Cabin in the Woods type deal.
Ooh, that could be a good reveal too.
Yeah,
that would be.
I think it's because it talks about in season 1 how the numbers aren't.
You feel them.
You feel them, but it's because. I think it's because of the implant. The company is masking what they're really doing with the numbers.
Sure,
because of the implant, it's blocking their memories from actually seeing what's
they're
really
working
going on.
Sure,
it could just be
it could just be their view of what they're working on. What they're doing is
that's how I interpret it.
Is diffusing bombs or something. Something.
Well, yeah, whatever it is, they're sorting into 4 or 5 different bins or whatever.
Hold on a sec. So here, because I think what we're talking about,
But here,
I just want to show you. It's not going to let me bring up the picture.
Yeah, bring it up. But while you're doing that, the reason why I like my theory is because it also explains why they want Mark back so much, right? Because they need to finish mapping his brain, right? Like because that to me answers the question of why they want these people involved.
So
if it's aliens though, why not just abduct them? Why do they have to do this?
I don't know.
Severance program.
Because it's the observer. It's the if the subject knows he's being observed, then the you don't get the same results.
I just want. Why is this? My computer's acting all weird here.
You can send it to me if your computer.
No, I'm having to try and. So just what you said about because I think Jared's on board with me here, and tell me what you're talking about with Mark's wife. Is completely different than a flash in the screen. It's got data. It's got a pulse. It's got all kinds of data about her. Let me see if I can bring it up here, because
it was really late when I was watching it because I had watched the finale of Silo with my wife, and then the kids they weren't going to bed, and so I showed her episode 1 of season 1, and then when she went to bed, I watched. So it was pretty late when I watched.
Let me see if I'm turning on my Firefox.
Also, the episode 1 of season 1, it holds up. Like it was so entertaining to rewatch.
It's especially when you know.
David would prefer being probed by the aliens than to do his data refinement.
What's going on? It actually is. It's actually a little bit better because you start looking around.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna. I've never rewatched the show. And I'm looking forward to watching it again and just trying to find more details because I don't think that it's an empty mystery box. I hope it's not an empty mystery box, but it does go to it is an indictment of the status of Hollywood right now, that you can have a show this good and still the unanimous consensus is, I really, really hope this show doesn't suck, right?
Yeah.
Because we're so afraid of liking this show because we've been burned by every other show in existence. Like it is damning upon Hollywood that you can have a show that is this freaking brilliant and we still don't trust it.
Yeah.
Well, it's a mystery. It's a,
That's
you know,
true.
the mystery. Unfortunately, most mystery box shows haven't worked out, and this is a mystery box show, but it's doing a good job of
Again, yeah, it is.
sharing.
It is. And my position has always been, I don't think mystery box is inherently bad.
I agree with that, Steve. I actually agree with that completely.
But what's inside the box has to be good.
Yes.
And if it's not, if you don't,
And it has
if
to
you
be
don't,
set up, too.
if
It
you
can't just
don't,
come out of
if you
nowhere.
don't know what's inside the box from the beginning, it doesn't work.
Okay, let me see if this
And that's
will
why
let me
you get
do it.
Lost that sucks.
Right.
You get Fringe that sucks. You get that when the answer. If you're coming up with the answer as you go, that's not how to do a mystery box show.
Let me see if this is going to let me show.
And unfortunately, that's 90% of mystery boxes.
Let me see here. There you go.
'Cause,
Okay.
What's an example of a mystery box that does work?
Raised by Wolves.
Raised by Wolves, absolutely. And I would have loved
Raised
more.
by Wolves. Yeah.
Raised by Wolves. You know that the box is full, and like
Yeah.
you can see hints of it.
White Cloak's done right. I wish I would
Exactly.
have liked to do some more of that one.
Oh, you're right. Okay, that's okay. Okay.
So whatever
I hear what you're saying.
Whatever her Cold Harbor is, she's got an ID number, an IT number, her
Jeez.
stats, and then you can see.
And that's on his
where-
computer. I thought it flashed the entire screen, but
So
it's
no,
it's
this
the
is-
computer screen that flashes. You're
Oh.
correct. You are
So
correct.
Yeah,
before
okay.
this, you can see him working on it, and as he bends it, it
Yeah.
goes
Yes.
from his screen to this screen, and the line he just bend goes up to the.
So that
percentage.
could
You're right.
that could be this is David's theory of this isn't what they're seeing isn't what they're actually doing.
Yeah.
Right?
You can see
It's
two
the
guys-
programming adding another filter of copyright protection. Right?
Yeah. This is actually huge too because down at the bottom you see the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the number of the bins too.
Yeah.
There were 5 bins.
Yeah, that's what I'm
included in the
saying.
box.
Well, that's
And the
what-
reason why he sees this now is because his innie is aware that
That
was
she-
his wife. So
Right.
he makes that mental connection,
Well-
and he can actually see what the computer's showing him.
So they are like mapping the human genome
Well,
or something, right?
Hold on. So my
Huh.
thing is, do we think he? So I don't think he's actually seeing this. I think this is just for us.
Okay, that's also a theory. Yeah.
Because hold on, let me go. Like without playing it, right? He's
Right.
so
He doesn't react to it for
So
sure.
he's here. So he's. Let me see. Apple's terrible at this, but
Yeah, they're yeah.
so
Man, the Apple's UI is garbage.
it's terrible.
Is it better if you if you have an iPhone? Is the UI better?
So I don't know. I don't have an iPhone. So he's just here working.
I
I'm
don't-
going
yeah.
to turn off the sound and hit play. I won't get you demonetized. I promise. So he's here doing this,
Mhm.
and then he's binning stuff.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
See, but the number's down at the bottom there.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
has
so watch.
he has like a slight grin on his face though.
Yep,
Did you
so
see
when
that?
he-
His demeanor changes.
So but I
Like he
think
knows something that we
Well,
don't.
because this is the no. I think
'Cause-
this is he's finding a joyful numbers.
Yeah.
This
Okay,
is
okay,
joy.
that's an
And the numbers
interpretation.
are joyful.
It could be.
But
It
he
could also
mentioned-
be that he's now seeing it different, and that's why he's grinning.
That's true too. But so he goes into the 3 bin, right, which is
Yep.
58%.
Look, wait, look at his eyes. That doesn't look like the number screen. That looks like he's seeing it differently.
You're right.
Huh.
It does. You're
Oh,
absolutely
now,
right.
but that could also be just for the audience. We see the true screen, and he sees numbers.
Right.
Yeah.
So and then he bends it. He gets a little like. Plus,
I'm gonna have to go back and watch.
That's great.
You know,
acting.
not on a
It's
stream.
Yeah,
he's a great.
goodness.
The acting, you can see he's smirked or whatever just from the lines in his eyes. Like
Yeah.
that's like, and then he bends 68%. It goes to her.
Okay. Yeah,
68%.
the way it zooms in though does imply that this is just for the audience.
No,
But he grins.
Yeah,
what I
no,
didn't-
it's
but
it's
hold
a
on,
different
but-
computer screen though.
Yeah.
What I
This
didn't
switch is-
notice-
With the zoom in and zoom out kind of shows this is what the administration is seeing as
Yeah.
they're
Real
monitoring
real quick,
is.
though, real quick before I don't want to talk. So it's at 68%. So it goes to that Cold
then it-
Harbor
Yeah.
percentage. That's
Yeah.
different from the bins. We wanted to see if a bin is at 68%.
That's
Yeah,
yeah, his bin.
None of the
Goes to
bins are at 68% though.
So that's the
A cold harbor.
compound.
So he binned something that made her Cold Harbor, but her bins are still
maybe the
not
bins are all
Portland.
separate people, and then this is her individual screen. I don't know.
Maybe that's what they're all working. I don't know, but it's so I think this is just for us. I don't think he's seen this. So I think
this is definitely a different screen though, because it's
so if it's not, it's got to be aliens, man. Like this, what's a satisfactory answer that's not aliens?
Well, it's got. Well,
I don't know.
I don't know if I can satisfy with aliens.
Yeah,
it could be hell. I mean, it could be. I mean,
I hope it's not. Oh, we were in limbo the whole time.
I hope it's limbo. If it's some like occult like shit, like I could do with some Cabin in the Woods stuff. I mean, you have like
see that to me, the Cabin in the Woods would have the same impact as Aliens for me. Like it's kind of the same reveal.
Yeah.
Right?
No, I agree with that. Like if it's like they're working to save Earth from fucking demons,
some kind of demonic thing. Yeah,
that doesn't. But why? Why healing her or doing whatever the hell they're doing to her? Does that stop aliens or demons from taking over?
I don't know. But yeah, you can see like this is a different room. Like the lighting in the room is different. It's not. This isn't his screen. This is the administration screen.
So are you saying you think Kiev is aliens? Because that's where like you have all this weird Kiev as like Jesus stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Jesus. I think in the in-world Jesus is an alien. I don't know.
Right? So but it's like, look again. These are all cool questions to talk about, as long as they have a satisfaction.
As long as there's something in the box, yeah.
And here's something else too. If you do look at the bottom right, right above that big thick white line.
Sorry, I can't get rid of the line. Sorry.
Well, no, but it does have packet rate.
Here?
And a packet time and a duration. So it does look like it is tracking how long it's taking for something to be done.
Well,
okay. So go back to season 1 though. Go back to season 1. How they're all working on the same packet. They're doing it together.
No,
right? Yes.
Well, yes, because
if you talk about if you
quotas.
Yes, but no. The way that they talk about it in season 1 is data refinement receives a packet like for the week, and they have the 1 week to finish that packet, and sometimes they don't finish it. They don't complete. They don't refine the whole data, and then and then the next week they get a new packet to work on. They're all working on the same one.
No, it specifically talks about one person finishing all their work, but another person didn't. So if they're working on the same packet, that person that was done with their stuff could have worked on the other if they're working on the same packet.
I think you need to go back and rewatch, David.
I think I'm going to have to go back and rewatch.
I think you're full of doo-doo.
I mean, I don't know.
They have said there's instances where people don't finish, right?
Right. If they say like that's, I finished my percentage of the work, right? I did a fourth of the refinement, and everyone else isn't.
Well, because for example, at the very end, they do wait for Helly to finish, right? Like everyone's like, okay,
you're right. Yeah, you're right. Everyone else is finished, and Nelly was still working on it.
Yeah, and they're like, hold on,
everybody else was 100%, and she was not.
Yeah.
So that can't be the case.
With all the bullshit, even I loved how she even mentioned, like, with all the dicking around, you guys still made it. It's like,
yeah.
They just seem to zoom through their packets, and she just barely made it.
What is this? What is this image in the bottom left corner? There's 4 circles, and there's four people who work in data refinement. I don't know. Is it coincidence? I don't know. Maybe they divide each human soul up into 4 chunks, okay? And they can only be refined by a different... I don't know. I don't know the answers to these questions, baby.
RFSO, what, like, it's...
Yeah, there's heart rate. There's heart rate up there. HR with the
25 build. So this is build 25 of her. Is she a cyborg?
Oh.
Maybe his wife is dead, right? So we've never even answered that question of... Did his wife really die, or did she get kidnapped by Lumen? Maybe that's the whole thing. They're trying to create human life, and the data refinement is trying to recreate a person, and they've failed to recreate her 25 times.
Yeah.
Why do I feel like the number 3733 has been... Isn't that...
3733?
3733, has that not been...
I don't know. I'm gonna rewatch season 1 for sure. So I'll look out for that. I feel
like 3733 was like on a
So
it's also just be the build of the software
It's very possible that
Yeah.
that the therapist version of his wife is like a clone that's not perfect.
Yeah.
It's not a 100% recreation.
Okay, so why do the goats want aliens, or aliens
The
want
goats, right? Okay.
That's where you get into
and
sacrifices
when
shit, right?
and that's in episode 1 of season 1. They walk in, he's got goats, and he says, "You can't take them; they're not ready yet."
Yeah.
Is that episode 1?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's not episode 1.
It's
Right.
episode.
Yeah.
It's. I just rewatched it. It's episode 1 of season 1.
No, it's not.
David,
Are you serious?
I
That's
just
episode 1.
rewatched it.
Really? They've explored that.
Oh, okay. No. Maybe it was in. Is it in the previously on Severance?
Yeah, it was in the recap. This
Okay.
episode.
If it's not in the recap of this episode, then
is
it
in the
happens in
recap.
episode 1.
It's
There's
100%
no way it
in the
happens in
recap
episode
this
1.
episode.
Okay. Then it.
There's no way.
Okay, then let me pull up. I know I watched it this week. Okay, it might have been in the recap.
No,
That was in the recap.
season episode 1 is just him.
Okay, I just said I could be wrong. I'm gonna go check. I'm gonna go check.
It's got to be like episode 4 or 5.
All I know
Yeah.
is that I saw that scene this week. Okay.
It was definitely on. No,
It
that
was in
definitely
the
on
recap, in the previously on.
It was on the recap. 100%.
I'm checking it. No.
Dude, we're just telling you you're wrong, and it's on the recap.
I
Relax.
I agree. I could be wrong here.
Episode 5, bro. Season 1, episode 5.
that
Could
sounds
be.
better. 'Cause
Okay,
they were
but
traveling the
okay.
hallways
The
and
point
shit.
of the story is the line that he says is, "You can't take them; they're not ready."
Right.
What-
So why
what-
do they?
So
But I
what-
wonder if it could be something with
Wait.
like stem cells or something like that.
It could. Yeah.
Wait,
like,
they had a talk back after the show. I didn't watch that. Oh
Yeah,
no!
I forgot
It's
to watch
short.
that too.
It's very-
Oh no! I didn't. Okay, they do a
Inside
season.
the episode.
They do the whole. Here are some scenes from season 2,
Yeah.
and
Oh, you
then they
didn't
do
watch
an
that?
analysis of the episode. Crap! I gotta go watch that now.
It's not very long. It's not very
Okay.
long, if I remember.
I
you
just
get- oh,
it
you
just popped up.
You did see the look
Stay
for.
tuned after the
what's
episode.
his face is back. Bert's gonna be back, which is gonna be interesting.
Oh, Joaquin Phoenix? No.
Christopher Walken?
Christopher Joaquin Phoenix.
No.
Hey, come on,
Christopher
Joaquin.
Phoenix?
Yeah. So like you get a shot of Christopher Walken. So he's gonna be in. But yeah, I don't know. So far so good. As long as again,
Yeah.
we're definitely the show is a mystery box, and that could be fine as long as
Again, I
with
don't
all
think
mystery box shows.
I
like,
don't think Mystery Box is inherently bad. It
Agreed.
just has
I agree.
a propensity to be bad.
Unfortunately, mystery box has become a bad word because you have lazy writers that aren't good at actually finishing things, so they don't know how to. They're great at posing questions like, weird polar bears on an island.
There's
but not
goats
answering.
in the painting in the perpetuity ring.
Really?
I'm telling you, there's secret. There's got to be
Hold
Easter eggs everywhere. Can I ask you
Perpetuity
something, guys,
Ring is
something real quick?
episode 3 or something, yeah?
How,
go ahead.
How good? I'll take this off the screen so you don't.
Look at, yeah, let me.
How good was the the animation?
Oh, the
dude.
claymation,
That was
phenomenal. And then they start kissing, and the guy's like,
What the?
"What the? What?" And that leads me down it's demons and not aliens because everything's like on fire, and it's like unhinged, like maybe this is an alien interpretation of the events, and they don't understand humans fully, and so like this is like their recap of it was really good. It was also awesome to have like a recap of season 1 from an alien perspective.
It was brilliant.
But like
also-
if you're gonna sell me on the demon theory, like that's your biggest evidence of that. Like
That's
that
a good
was
point, too,
nuts.
because also that was a terrible promotional video.
So bad.
It didn't solve the problem that it was like, oh hey, we've changed, trust us. No, you're just as crazy as ever.
No, there's
but
no
also-
way they're using that. That's just was straight up for them, like completely. There's no way. It was the weirdest thing
Let me
ever.
pull this
Yeah.
off. No, like it was 100% to like mess with
So
them.
good.
It's either that or it's aliens and they think that it's going
And
to
they
help,
don't
but
understand,
they're
yeah.
just so bad with humans, right?
That's a
what
good
I'm telling you, aliens answers a lot of the questions.
Well, I'm gonna be
I
honest.
still don't
What
like
I'm
it.
hoping is it's neither. I hope it's not aliens, and I hope it's not demons, and I hope it's something like really normal that right. And it's just like because they're baiting us with the
Right.
goats for goat sacrifices, and
You know,
weird
and
technology for aliens, right? So
the other answer is it's copyright protection. So what they're seeing isn't what's happening. The goats are something else.
Oh,
The goats were human babies, right? The screen is not numbers that they're refining; it's a human that they're mapping the genome of. Okay,
That's
but look
a
at it.
good
So,
point.
so this is in the previously on segment.
Copyright protection. How is that something that was? I forget.
I don't think so, but I think that's a natural progression of the Severance.
Yeah.
Of the Severance magic system, right? I think that's a natural progression. Even the things that they're seeing, there's still layers that they're not understanding.
So they're able to make things look down on the severed floor different than they are in reality.
Maybe.
Is that
maybe
okay.
Potentially?
But I don't love that explanation though. I think it makes sense that they're presented numbers and the administration sees the screen. So maybe the goats are a real thing. Because look, in the perpetuity ring. This is in the previously on segment. You get Kier. Look.
Yeah, there's a goat.
There's a goat.
That's a goat.
There's a goat, and there's like, oh no, I thought that was a demon. That's a jester.
Dancing guys that were dancing for what's his face.
But the goat is wearing clothes and acting
the weird mask
like a person.
But it's not. He's got a hoof for a hand.
These are the weird mask guys too. At the end,
I forgot about that.
I forgot about that weirdly non-sexual dance.
So those are the 4 masked guys right there at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Yeah. Weird. So I don't. But yeah, the animation was horrible and funny.
It was so wonderful.
Again, it's also not. They said it was a new onboarding video they're going to show all the employees, but it was also something that only they
it was catered specifically to them. Like it wouldn't make any sense to a new employee.
Exactly.
Hey, here's all these inside jokes you're not gonna get.
It would make sense for someone's Audi to be shown, say, "Hey, look, we've changed. You've heard these things, these whistleblowers coming." But it would make no sense for an innie onboarding because they wouldn't remember any of that. They wouldn't know anything.
Episode 2 is going to be all Audis.
Look, we're here because we're not all there, and I also like this. Even the hallways is kind of mapped out like synapses in a brain, you know?
Yeah.
And you got the mind circled here. I think it's aliens trying to understand humans.
They might be mapping the brain, you're right.
I think it's aliens. I'm trying to find the goats.
I still don't know. I'm going to be against that one for the review it, Alan.
For generations though, it's just too long.
No. I don't think the company is as old as they're claiming it to be.
But how do they fool the world? The world knows
the world doesn't know any of that.
By severing people. So that so that we don't know about the aliens. I don't know.
No, I don't think the outside world's known anything about Kiev or how long the company's been in business.
Right. The outside world knows about the outside world knows about Lumen as a company. They don't know. They don't know the Kier weird stuff. That's only on the only present.
I think. Okay. Yeah, I think the people on the innies have been lied to and told that this has been going on for generations and generations. I think that's all lies.
Okay.
Either that, or if it's aliens, then the different versions of Kiev are the aliens from different worlds.
I really don't want it to be aliens.
I don't want it to be
aliens. I like my theory.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I don't want it to be aliens. I want it to be something different, like not aliens, not demons, just something like based in reality. But hiding. But I don't know. That's for the writers to do.
Something normal hiding in plain sight.
They're arming weapons of mass destruction. I don't know.
That they're, guising in this with all this messaging.
It was in the recap. You can't take them yet. They're not ready. What a bizarre thing to say.
like maybe just like it's science, like they're trying to prolong people's lives, or like cyborgs.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm also going off of, have you seen, there's a movie, I forget what it's called. Give me a second.
Mark could also be right there. It's the government trying to map the mind for mind control.
There's all kinds of things.
They've already got the severed part, worked out. And again, that was one of my theories for season 1. They could use this severed thing to for military applications and say, hey, you go out in the military, you fight this stuff, and we're just going to block it, and you don't even remember the PTSD that you get from fighting it, and then you can go back in the field and just snap that on, and you're back in the zone.
Do we have a theory for why Miss Selvig or Colbert is so obsessed with Mark, or is it just the same reason because Mark is so important?
No, I think that's like a liability thing, right? They have her it already involved in his outside life too, just to make sure he doesn't go off the rails, and she just is bad at her job.
She just goes overboard and starts watching his sister's kid.
No, I think
because she injects herself right into his family life.
Yeah,
and is there a way
we haven't really seen anybody else's family life either. So it could be that there's other Lumen employees that are watching over all the.
What is the black hallway with the red? And how does frickin' Irving know about it?
Have any of you seen this movie, Vivarium?
No.
It's really good.
Oh, I saw it advertised though. Where they move into like a suburb, and then the suburb.
Yeah, they move into a suburb, and it's completely empty except for themselves.
Weird.
And they're locked in it, and it repeats. They're stuck in this suburb place.
Can't get out of the suburb at all. Yeah.
And then they're trying to escape it, and then they're given a baby to take care of. And I don't want to spoil it because it's really, really good.
What's it streaming on?
I think you can watch it on Amazon. I really like this movie. It's by no means a perfect movie, but I think that the answer to Severance could be similar to this with the goats thing. I'm going to do a little bit of a spoiler, but it's kind of just premise.
Well, personally, I don't care. Personally,
the point of this story, the answer is aliens. Okay. But it's framed under like the is it the cuckoo bird that they don't take care of their own eggs. They lay an egg in another bird's nest, and that bird pushes out all of the other babies. Yeah. Like it grows faster than them, kicks them out of the nest, kills them, and forces the mother bird to raise it.
Yeah.
And so the movie starts with that, like she's a teacher and she has to explain why there's a dead baby bird on the ground to one of her students. It's like, oh, that's the cuckoo bird. It's a parasite, kicks out all the other babies and forces the parent to raise a baby that's not its own. And that's the metaphor for this mysterious alien. They capture a set of parents in a vivarium and force them to raise their alien baby, but so that it can learn human attributes. Huh. It's really freaking creepy and a really cool story. I think there's some parallels with the Severance thing. Like that's why I think aliens could be a good answer.
I can see why
they're trying to understand humans so they can copy them, so that they can integrate themselves without getting caught, Something like that.
I guess I could see that, yeah.
Watch Vivarium. It's really, really cool.
So I get that. Still doesn't explain why Mark's so important. Doesn't explain why his wife's not dead, and doesn't explain why his daughter is secretary to the lead guy. But
because his wife's an alien, and they need him to figure out if it worked.
I don't know. I don't think she's an alien. I think,
or a clone.
I don't know what's going on with her. She might be a clone, but I think what's happened is they faked her death somehow, and
it was a car crash
because I believe that that girl is her daughter.
Sure.
So
You
So
know,
what about this?
the
What
way
about
that
this?
that could happen is if they have her and the daughter as captives and use them on the severed floor, and whenever they go down the elevator with only the down arrow, they don't go back home, they just go to sleep, right?
What if
Again the next day.
so what if she is a clone and Mark is reprogramming her brain
Yeah.
so she
Maybe.
can reintegrate herself into her life as like a test subject? Sort of like
how would they
source
explain
code
her
type deal.
just showing up again?
Well, I'm just saying they wouldn't release her, but they're using her as a test subject to see if
Yeah, they're trying to see if they did a good enough job at
and then they can
cloning
introduce
her.
it as a product. Like, if you die, we can reprogram you and you can have your new body back type deal. It's like a pilot program to see if they can make clones that retain the
Now,
memories of the
that
users
would
like
that would go along with the theme of Kier being immortal too. Like it's not, he does die, but he just reincarnates into a clone body, and so they're trying to perfect. Maybe they have the original Kier on ice, and they're trying to perfect the cloning process before they put his mind into it.
Right.
I think the best answer for the specific data refinement issue. They're clearly. I think they're mapping the human mind, right, with the layout of the interior and with that whole thing. Like, I think they're trying to program the human synapses, right? The brain.
Their response to those data points is an emotion. It's joy, it's fear, it's whatever.
That's why they need human input on that so they can understand the human mind.
Right.
And I see what Mark said, and he like, I hope it's not that. It's possible that that's exactly what it is, but that just seems like they just faked her death because she found out Lumen's a baddie. It's like, we've done that so many times, like the spy shit. Like, I found out something that I wasn't supposed to, and then the evil corporation killed me. Like, I hate that. And it could be that
that's also like 90% of all sci-fi shows.
Yeah, it's like let's do something different. I hope it's not that, but it's possible.
It is hard. It is. You bring up your point brings up a point. The problem is this show's been so good that the answer, what's inside the box, has to be spectacular.
Because if we get to episode 8 and it's like, they're in the Matrix, like,
and it's the show's own fault. Like, the show has been so good, it's so well made that if what's inside the box, what's inside the box, if it's not Gwyneth Paltrow's freaking head, it's gonna be disappointing. If it's just she found out too much, so they killed her, it's gonna be disappointing. If it's just aliens without a good explanation for why it's aliens, it's gonna be disappointing. It has to be freaking. It has to be 7, man. It's got to be so good.
I really hope they know the end and they're just building. Like, I hope they know this answer and they're not.
I hope. Yeah.
I hope they know all this stuff we're speculating and they're just working their way to it in an interesting way.
I hope so.
And not going, I know we're writing all this stuff and we don't know actually what's happening, so we got to.
I know they do. They do. They might not have all the answers, but they definitely do have some of the answers. Because I was watching an interview with the cast, just like answering questions about themselves or whatever.
YouTube censored this comment. The government.
Really?
Yeah, it's not on YouTube.
Are you serious?
It's not even.
That's hilarious.
What? Yeah, you're right. It's not. That's crazy.
What the heck? Unless Mark deleted it, maybe.
The government is trying to censor our comments. Doesn't want us talking bad about it.
Like, what a comment for the government to choose to censor, right? Maybe we got it right. Maybe it's not the FBI. Maybe it's Apple TV. Okay.
I completely lost my train of thought. What the hell were we talking about?
I'm sorry. I derailed it. The box has got to be real good.
The box, yeah.
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Oh yes. Oh, they do have answers because.
Oh yeah.
In their interview, they were just answering questions about themselves. Like what cast member is most like their innie or something like that. But one of the questions was which one of you is most likely to read Reddit posts and fan theories about the show, and they pointed to the I forget his name, the big guy.
The big guy?
Oh, the one that stayed
Oh,
behind.
the fat character? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes, the fat character.
David,
I forget his name.
It's 2025. Okay, Trump's president again. You can
Not yet.
You can
Tomorrow.
you can call people fat. You're not going to get canceled. Okay.
The fat guy. He said he was the most likely to read Reddit threads, and he said a lot of the Reddit threads I read are like two different ends of the spectrum. He said one of them, they're like so out there and crazy wild theories. They're like, dude, are we even watching the same show? And then the other theories, he said, are exactly what's going to happen, and he can't say anything about it. And so I'm like, okay, that means that there's answers, and he knows what's going to happen, and he can't say anything.
I hope so.
And again, I don't know if that's overarching answers for the whole show, or if it's just season 2 that they're talking about, but there are answers.
It is the show's own fault for being so good that if they've painted themselves into a corner, and if it's not a really nice corner, we're going to revolt, you know?
Yeah.
Now I want to check out Reddit for this.
Yeah. Right? Trying to find out what theories he's talking about.
Does anybody else find themselves captivated by the way Helly R's hair bounces when she's walking down the hallway?
Yeah, it's really spongy.
It's like I'm like, how is her hair doing that? Like, I'm sorry, I know that's a very random comment, but it's like it's got so much body. It's like, wow.
It's very like it's almost like 80s, you know. It's
like bouncy. It's like, man, is that the way her walks? She walks, or is it her hair?
She's got the corporate heels that doesn't hurt.
I want to see paintball on the 7th floor.
I think it's also just the way her hair is styled, like with the bangs and like curled at the bottom. It's designed to be very bouncy.
Yeah.
Where did the other 3 guys come from?
What other 3? The replacement
data solutions. Is there another site off-site or
probably? Yeah. Well, they said there's more than one Lumen location across the world too. Yeah. So it's not just here they're doing it.
I feel like that's bullshit, but
again, it could be. We don't know.
But also, there could be different macro data refinement centers within the same Lumen facility, and they keep them separate because they don't want them sharing information.
Yeah, that's the big thing. We don't know what's lies at all from what's going on.
Man, can I just say what's the actress's name for Helly? What is her name?
Oh, I don't even know her.
Her performance in this episode is so spectacular that you can't tell, like, she's off. Like, her character is off. And the entire episode, you can't tell if it's because she feels guilty or if because she's not Helen and she's freaking lying. And her performance is so good.
Yeah.
Like the way, like, when Mark's like walking in front, they're doing the walk and talk. Mark's walking in front of her. I've got it like pulled up now. Like, she looks at him as they're walking, and you're like, I can't believe a word. I don't know what to believe. She's so good at it. Look at just.
No, you're right. She's done such a good job that either answer works. It could be her. It could be Helena. It could be Helly, and she's.
And again, on that matter, I think
look at her. Look at her face.
Too.
He's not paying attention to her. He's thinking about his wife, and you can see her mind turning. Like just her facial performance here. That's so.
Well, and you don't know if she's.
I don't know what it is, and that's. Just a great performance.
Wait, you don't know if the Helly's off. You don't know if it's Helena digging at Mark to try and find out what he actually knows. Like, if she's like double.
Just what she's doing with her eyes is so good.
Yep.
And you don't know if it's jealousy.
Yep.
Right.
Because now he's more focused on his wife and she likes him. It's what a great performance.
Don't know if it's jealousy. Don't know if it's shame. Don't know if it's confusion. Well, you don't know. Yeah,
it's confirmed. Apple TV is censoring correct theories about the show.
Yeah.
Good stuff. I hope it stays good.
I'm excited. I'm excited to rewatch season 1, 2, and just pay the heck attention. And man, Ben Stiller, I do more of this kind of crap, man. I want more of this, but I also want more Tropic Thunder.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
Come
Ben
on,
Stiller-
it's 2025. You could say retarded again.
yeah.
Do Tropic Thunder Part 2, okay?
Every time
Like
that his
we
name
didn't
comes up-
deserve the Joker Folia do. We deserved Tropic Thunder Parte Ado.
Yeah. Ben Stiller has been a great actor, but I think he's a phenomenal producer. Like, holy crap! This and Secret Life of Walter Mitty, we already talked about last week. What else has he? I'm sure he's.
I think he was behind Night at the Museum too. I think he was producing those.
He produced that as well as
You know what?
starring.
I think I do remember.
And those are great movies too.
Yeah, those stayed pretty consistent throughout. I mean, the sequels weren't as good as the original, but they weren't garbage.
Producer,
Right,
like, I think just about any. I think just about any movie he's
Holy
in now,
crap.
he's also producing.
You're right. He's been a producer of a lot of stuff.
Megamind.
That's a
That's
good
a good
one.
one.
Megamind. He also produced Zoolander 2, though. That was awful.
I didn't watch that
Oh,
one. I didn't watch that
God.
one.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love Zoolander. I love the first
Zoolander
one.
2 was not good. Yeah.
He was the
He's
producer on
financing and
Tropic Thunder
producing a
too.
bunch of independent stuff. So like a bunch of stuff I haven't seen that is, which is all super cool. Give money to no names, to make movies that they care about. What were you saying?
I didn't realize he produced the original Zoolander as well as
I didn't know that.
Dodgeball and.
They're doing Dodgeball 2.
They did.
Are they?
Yeah, that's in pre-production right now.
No. Boo.
Maybe. I don't know.
What was
There's
the other
also one called Super Sad True Love Story, apparently.
and Tropic Thunder. So he
wrote Tropic Thunder.
I didn't know that. I thought he was just in it.
Yeah. He wrote
He
it.
wrote and produced Tropic Thunder.
At least part of it, yeah. It's good.
Nice. Yeah.
It's really good. Did he direct it?
Let's go.
Probably
Tropic Thunder.
Yeah, he did. He's the director as well. He directed
Wow.
Zoolander.
He produced.
Yeah, I love him.
directed,
I love him
wrote,
as an actor,
and
but I
starred in
think
Tropic Thunder.
his powers are better behind the camera.
Yeah, I agree. Anyways,
He should produce an anime based on Blake and Raven's books.
ooh,
I don't. The thing is, animation is a completely different beast.
Yeah.
Live action skills as a director producer don't translate 1-to-1 into animation.
That's
There are
true.
people who can do both, but it's a very different beast. Yeah, that's pretty much it, right? That's Severance
Yeah, I
season
don't have
2.
anything else.
I need to go watch Tropic Thunder now. You know what movie was good? It's underrated. With Ben Stiller, I like the Tower Heist.
It's okay.
No, not a 10 out of 10, but it's like a solid
Yeah,
7 or
okay.
8. It's a fun movie.
Yeah. I think that's fair. Yeah.
Also, it was like the first thing Eddie Murphy had been in a long time.
Yeah. No, it's not bad.
It's good. It's a fun movie. It's underrated.
I think Mystery Men.
I
This is
mean, well, yeah,
best
but that's a
acting
cult classic.
That is pretty good.
I need to get to work if I'm gonna have a video ready by tomorrow. So, Patreon, I need to crack the whip. Yeah, I need it. I'm getting on it now. Anyway, all right, that's it. See you guys next week. Who knows if we'll have a book club? There's only one person that can answer that question.
Me?
Yeah,
For what? For Carl?
for Carl.
I tried like 3 times. You guys keep ducking me. No, I'm kidding.
I've been available. This
We'll get it
whole-
straight. We'll get it straight. Well,
Yeah.
Nathan wasn't available this weekend, so
Yeah.
hopefully we can figure something out.
I'm kind of pissed because I finished book 3 of Dungeon Crawler Carl, which was fantastic, by the way.
It is.
And now I'm out of Audible credits.
No.
I can't read book 4 till the end of the month.
It's the worst.
Unless there's a sale or something that pops up. But yeah.
That's funny.
Anyway,
But
my
it's good
internet
stuff.
is crashing or something. So that's it. Thanks for coming on, Steve. We love talking
Yeah,
to
of
you.
course. Thank you.
Again, I'll keep sending you invites as long as Severance.
Yeah,
is
if I'm
running,
around,
watching, so.
I'll be here.
Again, no
Severance is
pressure.
great,
If you have time, pop in.
Yes, sir.
I'm really liking the show.
So far, so good. Yeah.
But yeah, anything else? Anything to plug, Prophet?
I am starting my unfortunate
Don't say
guide
it.
into Wheel of Time season 3 probably tomorrow.
Man, I'm so ready.
So,
Oh boy.
it'll
Look,
be
When's the release date for that?
March 16th.
Oh, that's too soon.
Dude, it's
So
they're
I'm gonna do it.
they're releasing it on my freaking birthday, dude.
Yeah,
Okay.
So, if I'm gonna do a rewatch of some sort, I gotta get it cracking. So I think I'm probably gonna do it tomorrow. Get it started.
Oh man.
Well,
As I was recording,
Godspeed, man.
as I was recording part of episode 1, I forgot how much shit I haven't. It's shit. I forgot how much shit was in there, but it's worse.
Yeah, well, when I went back and tried doing the devoid of logic thing, because I hadn't started doing that until like later on, after season 1, I started doing season 1. I'm like, I had I didn't even remember how bad that was. The episode 1 took me like 2 months to edit because it's so bad.
It's bad. It's not good.
There's so much wrong with that first episode.
Yeah,
and the last time I'd watched it, I still had rose tinted glasses on. I was still shilling for the show, and I didn't even realize how much.
Until like episode 3 that you started like, I don't know about that.
Just denial. It was so bad. I think that's just holding on to hope. This is like, okay, come on, please, please. It's like,
all right, well, God be with you, man.
Yeah.
Like I will be praying for your everlasting soul.
If nobody shows up, to the live stream, then I won't have to do it anymore. So if a lot of people do, then there we go. So it's one of those. We'll see.
You're gonna rewatch it. You're gonna watch it live.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
Oh boy.
That's it.
Okay.
It's happening. So if people show up. If people show up, then right. We'll continue.
I'm gonna edit this out of the live stream so that no one shows up, so that you don't have to keep doing it.
We'll see what happens.
I am revoking your plug.
Oh, okay.
That's what
Go watch my When in Truth video then. There you go. When in Truth review. There you go.
I still haven't been able to make a video. I'm so depressed about it.
I still don't know if it was any good, but I got it out.
Alex has been torturing himself over a script he's
we record
a rebuttal he's recording, and
something's coming out. I recorded something with him.
You did it?
We talked for part of it. We talked for 3 hours about every character that was messed up. So that was every single one of them. So
I just know he's still caught up on the Chol vagina scene.
The Chol vagina, he's stuck on it, which I wonder why.
You haven't started it yet, Jared, right?
Kind of meeting? What?
Well, I did, but I was doing it while at work, and I realized I wasn't really listening to it as much as I wanted to, so I've stopped.
That might be the best way to do it.
Half there, half there. Yep.
Half listening.
Yeah, because I got to the part where they started talking about how they're basically being attacked on all sides, and they have to figure out a strategy to be able to defend the cities, the strongholds. Because if he gets one stronghold, then he gets the whole.
It's worse than it sounds, Mark. The Chol vagina chapter is what you're imagining.
I know what you're talking about.
What you're imagining in your head. It's not what you think. It's worse.
Yeah, no, I remember what. Yeah, I know.
It's bad, right? It's a horrible chapter.
That was weird. That was really weird.
It's just so weird. And there's more of
she's
it.
talking about how she can change what she is.
She can change. Like, she literally talks about how she could change the shape and appearance of her pussy, and she chooses to turn it into a chol, so it surprises people when she flashes them. Apparently,
and then there's more of that later in the book. There's more stuff like that. It's just like,
and and that's also the chapter where you get social justice warrior Kaladin reaming the librarian for being racist against Spren.
Yep.
She's doing her best. She can move books, man.
I don't remember that part. See, it's because I was listening to it.
He berates the librarian
he
for not wanting for being racist against Spren when the precedent is like there's precedent there. Like the only time every time Syl opens her mouth, she's not being serious. And it's a librarian. Librarians are grumpy because they don't want you to mess up the library.
And also Windspren, which she looks a lot like, are known for being mischievous.
Yeah. And so she's like, I don't want you in my library. And Kaladin like curses her out. You're just a racist bigot against Spren. And you're like, well, you're like, he's the one being bigoted in that scene because no one else like the whole Spren are changing and becoming more human is a new thing. Kaladin's one of the only people who knows about it.
Yeah, and
he's being bigoted against other people it's horrible. It's awful. Yeah. Anyway, I gotta get work done.
That's Steve's probably rest. I've started watching or reading Wind of Truth too because, like I said, I can't read Dungeon Crawler 4, so that I haven't read that part yet. But that's probably
it's the weirdest thing trying to read Wind of Truth and Carl in parallel. It ruins.
It's baffling. It's more. Like
it makes it even worse. Yeah, it makes it even worse.
I could the whole time you're reading and you're just depressed. You're like, I could be having fun right now. I'm choosing to do this.
That's exactly what happened with the reactor mag stuff. Was it's like I should read Wind of Truth, but
I don't want to.
I'm gonna keep reading Carl. It's better.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start my way through it. Whenever I get fed up with it, I'll take a break and read one of Robert Aspen's Myth Adventures before I come back to it.
I'm glad you're liking those.
Until I get my next Amazon credit in a week and a half, and then I can buy Dungeon Crawler 4.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. God be with you, Steve. I hope you don't die or game end yourself from watching The Wheel of Time.
I'll survive.
I've got to actually get work done. I think I'm finally over, and it's literally Wind and Truth's fault. Like it sent me into like a depressive spiral, and I haven't wanted to do any work. I've had to cope by just playing video games. It's the first time I've played video games like more than work. In like 5 years. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's sad and depressing how little time I have to play video games.
I agree, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, Mark, thanks for the recommendation.
I've literally been procrastinating. Did Kathleen Kennedy write? It kind of feels like Kathleen Kennedy wrote Wind and Truth. It turned very gay and very lame.
Yeah. Also, I don't know
on the final stretch.
I don't know if you guys started with the audiobook or you started with the reading that he pre-released.
I read the first
from where you were.
I read the first 3 books physically, and then 4 and 5 did audio.
No, I mean for Wind and Truth because he released chapters before.
We
start with the recording.
So
you left off?
For the first like 2 months, we were just reading.
Well, they started,
and then like 2 months in, they started releasing audiobooks as well.
Yeah, they did So I
didn't reread the first third of the book. There's no way I could have done that.
So the dedication at the very beginning of the audiobook, he does this really weird thing. Like he reassures his audience that he's still writing the series. He's like.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, now I got to listen to it.
Would you, in the acknowledgments in the very beginning, he's like, I still write every single word from the Stormlight Archive myself.
Well, now I don't believe it at all.
Like, why would you say that? Like, of course,
especially because the writing doesn't seem like anything he's ever
exactly
like that. Chol Vagina chapter is 100% somebody else.
I want to assure you, I have a big team, and a lot is writing on this book, but this is very important to me, and I still write every single word of the Stormlight Archive. It's very important to me.
Look, while technically that could be true, when you get to the point where you're hiring sensitivity editors, you're not writing every word.
Right. You're altering your ending based on feedback, and then you send out 3 endings, and then you
sent out 2 endings, didn't choose either of them.
Right. You sent out 2 endings, then you made an amalgamation of
Who was that for? He said it was for the different endings were around one character. Was it Kaladin?
It had to be. Right? Well, all I remember was the quote was he sent out the 2, then he got feedback from...
I think it was Dalinar.
And all I know is he got feedback and he changed it to try and make everybody happy. It's like, no, make yourself happy. Write your book.
Yeah.
So sorry.
Anyways, I just thought that was a really weird stipulation that he said, I want to assure you I wrote every word of this book. I'm like,
I don't believe it.
Why would you
such a
say
weird thing to say.
There's no way he wrote that Chol Vagina chapter. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe he wrote that chapter at all. I don't.
But yeah, go back and read the dedication or the acknowledgments or whatever at the very beginning before he gets into the prologue. It's weird, man. Anyways.
It's like he knew it was shit, so he had to it's like, I wrote it. I swear.
And his excuses in that his response to criticism was like, well, we had a deadline we needed to meet. You're like,
what?
That's you created the deadline, man.
Yeah, it's your deadline.
That's not your editor saying we need the book or you're fired.
Right.
Brandon Sanderson can do whatever he wants. He just
wanted name. Yeah.
He wanted to have the book available for Dragonsteel. Honestly, I would have been fine going to Dragonsteel and not having a physical book, even though I'd paid for it. If he says, look, I wanted to make sure it was good. You'll get your book. We'll ship it to you. But you're not going to have it available at Dragonsteel. I would have been fine.
Yeah.
Some people might have been more pissed off, but...
yeah.
I don't want to hear it. You fucked up your crown jewel because you had a deadline to meet. Okay.
And you can tell by reading it, like, that's not what messed up this book.
No, that's not it at all. It's not it at all. The whole book is a mess. The whole book. That's not a deadline issue.
Another editing pass would not have solved this problem. It's broken and it's rotten at the core.
Yep, right from the start. When you spend the first third of the book with the character we don't want to spend the first third of the book with.
And you spend the last third of the book with a character who's supposed to be the main character of the next 6 books, the next 5 books.
Yeah,
I don't understand why Renarin was the main character of this book.
Worrying about pee-pee touches and asses and pants. Yeah, not good.
I still can't get over the
Drehy grooming chapter.
The Drehy grooming chapter is compounded by after Drehy grooms Renarin in the same. Well, or no, before in that same scene you have Lift talking to a 9-year-old about how she wants to have a threesome with 2 gay dudes.
Yep,
it's bizarre.
Why are all the handsome ones gay? It's like, Jesus Christ. Lift is unironically the worst character I've ever had to listen to.
I really liked her in the previous.
So did I.
She's insufferable at this point. Like, she has it. Yeah.
She's the definition of she is the child that was never told no.
Insufferable.
Never disciplined.
The whole thing is.
And for some reason, Brandon Sanderson is proud of her.
He loves her. Lift is his favorite character.
That's not good parenting.
Yeah.
How did you leave Gavinor, the heir to the throne, with Lift? Or anywhere near her? I hate this book Sorry. I don't know how we got here. Obviously there's still a lot to talk about with Wind of Truth, so we're gonna have to do one of those.
We gotta do it. We gotta do it. Dungeon Crawlers. We need a Carl stream. We need a Wind of Truth stream.
That's right. You weren't able to be so we got to do that because there's so much to talk about.
I listened to the first hour. I was commenting, but and then you guys started getting into it. Like I can't. I gotta finish reading the book.
Yeah, it's bad.
Mark Clark just sent us another $2 to shut up.
All right.
Look, this is content too, Mark. Okay, this counts.
I've noticed he stopped hounding me to make more videos
because I
figures it's a lost cause or something. I don't know.
I'm doing it. I'm over the depression. I'm willing to talk about it now.
I've got some stuff filmed. I was hoping to get one out this week, but
it's made. The problem is it's made so much worse. It's Severance season 2. Look, it's his own fault. His books have been so good.
Yep.
And he ruined them himself. It's compounded the problem, right? I know I've complained about like the woke stuff that's in the Arcane Ascension series. It doesn't bother me nearly as I'm still able to enjoy those books in spite of because the author's always been woke. Okay? And he's still pretty good at writing books. It just bothers me that the scenes that he has that are super woke pull me out. But there aren't that many. It's like one scene in the whole book that's like, oh, I did not like that. And then the rest of the book is good. There's more woke crap in Brandon Sanderson's book than in a wacko liberal's book. It's insane. But, all right, I got to go. You got to go. You got to just prepare yourself.
Yes, I got to carb up.
All right. Do some carbo loading. Do a pasta.
I got a few hours. Yeah, I'll get it. I'll try not to have nightmares. Yeah,
I'm gonna down a bunch of energy drinks and edit it away. Because the nice thing is, my wife doesn't work tomorrow, so she can watch the kids and I can stay up all night and then sleep all day.
There you go.
Nice.
Really good.
Awesome.
Now, obviously, if I had a balanced work life, I could work in the day when my wife is watching the kids and sleep at night. But I always feel guilty, like, oh, I want to go spend time with the family.
Yeah.
So if I work at night, then I have no excuse. Then I'm like, I can just work. Anyway, bye. See you guys next week. This is over. Severance. It's going to be Severance season 2, and we're going to get another show soon. And I forgot what it was, but I don't want to look it up. Okay, bye.
Bye.
See ya.
And now it is time to say goodbye.
We had a great conversation.
It's been fun. But all good things must come to an end, and the goodest ending I can think of is...
Right now, this moment, this night.
So I guess we just say goodbye.
So, goodbye.
Toodaloo. Au revoir. Auf Wiedersehen. Ciao. Ding dao day. But come back next week for more outrageous bloopers.
This is the end.
Well, there's only one thing left to do.
I'm gonna go home and sleep with my wife.
Subscribe to the channel and you can join us along for the ride. And if you pay me, I'll try to be more entertaining. So please consider joining Patreon and getting your name in the credits with pride.
I'd buy that for $1.